The podcast on Haunted Hill will contain spoilers and swearing.
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
Please help us, Michael. Be one of us.
I didn't tell you my name.
Hang up.
I didn't tell them my name.
They're all a part of it. They're all parts of it.
Come. It is time to keep your appointment.
Hello and welcome to the podcast on Haunted Hill, episode 190. My name is Gav.
My name is Dan. 190. We're not wearing 90s.
No, and we are the podcast on Haunted Hill. Welcome. If this is your first time, welcome back. If you're new to this, welcome front.
And if you are a casual listener, just come around the side a little bit.
Pop in the side door.
Hello. Welcome, everybody. We are a bit delayed. We'll get into the heat wave that hit the United Kingdom in just a moment, but that is the reason we are a bit delayed, because we almost hit 40 degrees here in the United Kingdom. Ironically.
I did podcast with Sarah, and but I said to her, like, I'm going to have to, because we just did an extra, because we just did that, which is not very long, which luckily... but I had to do it with the windows open. There's no way. But we couldn't do the whole episode with windows open. People driving cars like dickheads.
It would have been very uncomfortable to try to do it.
And it just, your mind's not on it, if you know. So.
And ironically, the film that we are covering this episode is Gav's choice. And that is the film that's called The Summer of 84 from 2018. And yes, so...
very appropriate.
It is very appropriate. And it's still quite hot now. It's still, well, we might as well talk about it. We're talking about it now. So it's been very hot. We're the British, so we talk about the weather all the time, whether it's cold, raining, snow, hot. And boy, has it been hot.
My mum's the typical British mum. My mum's never happy. Like, never happy. There's always a comment. God, isn't it hot? Like, yeah, okay. God, hasn't it ever stopped raining? God, oh, it's so cold, isn't it? God, it's all right, Brit. There's always a comment. It's generally negative. But, you know.
But I think the reason that British people talk about the weather so much is because our weather is so changeable. Whereas if you live in Australia, it's just pretty much always sunny. You know, maybe there's parts of the US where it's maybe a bit of rain and a bit, but like here it's
California.
It's just hot. That's it. So here it's always like, oh my God, it's raining. Oh my God, it's snowing. Oh my God, it's windy. So, and we're not built for the weather in the UK. Hence why my children's school and most of the schools in the southwest of England shut for 2 days, because it was record highs of almost 40 degrees Celsius in Bristol, where I live. And I know London was slightly hotter. So therefore, to safeguard the children, because obviously that's like 30 children per class for a teacher to look after, they just said, you take them home, which is mental, because my house was even hotter than the school. So all I could do was get a paddling pool in the back garden, put up loads of shade, and feed them ice cream all day long until it was time to go back to school.
I thought you said feed them mice then.
Feed the mice. Just feed the mice like cats. It has been horrendously hot, and I don't mind the summer, you know, but there's a point where, especially when you've got younger children, you've got to try and manage them. You're genuinely worried about their health, you know, and are they drinking enough water? But then you're like, oh shit, I haven't had a drink for an hour. It's like someone's going to die. Apparently, about 1,500 people died in France over about 3 days from the heat. And I know quite a few children died in the UK who were in cars. Because people were like left their kids in car for like 20 minutes and they got cooked pretty much. It's like, it's fucking horrendous.
One of the nights, the M25, which is, if you don't know, the M25 is a pretty famous road in London. It does Greater London. It's in England, that is. It does Greater London, and it just goes all the way around it in like a circle. So you can dart in and out of different parts of London, because London's quite big. Well, for England's sakes, not the rest of the world. And there's some people stuck on it. There's a traffic jam and there's an oil thing, and they had to shut both sides, and it was proper big. I looked at my map and I was like, whoa. And people were there for 8 hours, so people had to have...
Oh my God.
So there's loads of people had to have ambulances for the people in the cars waiting, because people had heat exhaustion and all, etc. So sitting in their cars, running out of water in that heat for 8 hours.
I mean, I've got a friend who works for a funeral director, and she's told me that they've been told they're going to get busy because there's a lot of bodies in the coroners at the moment from the heat. Probably a lot of older people, like pensioners, but they're going to be getting busy soon at her funeral director, because sadly, old people just can't cope with it. I mean, we struggle. And shout out to Ricky Morgan, actually. He commented on something I posted on Facebook, and he made a good point, which is, we don't have air conditioning over here, and with this global warming, we do need to invest in some air conditioning, even just in schools, colleges, because I know air conditioning isn't great for the environment if everyone's got it, but come on, there's a reason that people have it. We need to get it in the schools and colleges and universities.
One of the days I was in your city, and I was working, and I said I was working, and I was luckily in an air-conditioned building all day long. But when we were coming back, I've never had this before, on the sat-nav, it's on the phone, a warning came on saying you're about to approach the heat, because it was hotter where we're going into. And I've never heard of a warning come up on your sat-nav to say to you, you're about to go into a heat thing, be prepared, sort of thing. Like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden it was just like, oh my God, it's well hot. It's like a couple of degrees more, but
it's like a science fiction film, isn't it? You're now entering the heat zone.
It was weird, and it was hot. And anyway, listeners, we stopped talking. We're not fucking. It's not the weather podcast.
No, it's not the weather podcast.
But this is why we couldn't podcast last week. Otherwise, this episode would be out quicker than it is.
And this is another reason. Well, not the only reason, but to get out of the heat, Dan Bone, who doesn't get out to the cinema often, I managed 5 cinema trips in the last 4 or 5 weeks.
I know, the love of the air conditioning.
The air conditioning.
I was down the gym for a lot longer sessions than normally as well.
I was walking around the supermarket, just walking up and down the milk section,
supermarket.
Just like,
I'd go from gym to supermarket. It's like, this is brilliant.
Looking at all the people that work in the local supermarket, you lucky bastards.
Yeah, they're so. Yeah, but when they come out, they're like, "Oh my God," because their bodies would be so used to the aircon.
So let's talk about what we've been watching. Let's talk about what we've been up to before we get into our movie. As people may or may not know, if you're regular listeners or not, we have changed our format. We are only doing 1 movie per episode now. Just makes things a bit easier for us with regards to research, editing, prepping, and recording and editing. So the 1 movie we're doing is Summer of '84. But before we get into that, we like to talk about what we've been up to and what we've been watching. So Gav, we talked about the weather. We've both been very hot. You've got your nipples out right now, in fact.
I'll tell you, this is a lovely segue. It was really warm the other night, so what am I going to watch? I started looking into hot movies with hotness. I did actually order a Blu-ray copy of Night of the Big Heat, which I can't wait to watch. I'll watch it on the next Heat Wave, because we've got one again coming next week.
We've got one next week. Yeah.
But I did watch Predator 2, which is a fantastic movie. It really is.
It really is, and
it
really
stopped
makes you feel
and look at it. And it's funny is sometimes I'm getting a little bit older, so when I could just sit there and actually concentrate on watching the whole thing, and like a Blu-ray copy, so it's a real clear image, and I can really watch it. And I was like, that's such a great film.
It's funny because I watched that one, as you and I are fans of watching weather appropriate films, and I do often watch Predator 2.
Seasonal
because it's but I never think of watching Predator 1, which is set in a jungle.
Absolutely,
but it just doesn't seem as hot as Predator 2. For some reason, Danny Glover, the beads of sweat dripping off his head.
It's actually, I think it's 42 in Predator 2. That's what it says at the beginning. It says it. There's one bit I do want to ask you and pick your brain about, as a film fan who likes Predator 2, and listeners do let me know of your thoughts as well. I was watching it, and there's a bit where Danny Glover's it's a bit weird. Predator's chasing Danny Glover, and then all of a sudden Danny Glover's chasing Predator, and back and forth. It's a little bit, when you actually watch it, it's a bit like, what's going on here? It's a bit of confusion almost in the editing, almost.
Right at the end, I remember this, right at the end.
And there's a bit where he's falling or hanging off the side of the building, and Danny Glover's got hold of him. So, he's
Right.
got Danny Glover's arm and he's hanging off
Yeah.
what the Predator is. And Danny Glover's like, oh my God. And he reaches over, gets his weapon and slices it through his arm.
Yeah.
While he's waiting to do that, Predator sets off his bomb, which he sets off at the end of first Predator.
Yep.
You beep, 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 beep. And it goes all the way, but then nothing comes from it. There's no explosion or nothing. Literally nothing comes in, nothing said again, nothing. He was about to end it and finish it, and it just goes on and carries on. He gets his arm patched up on the other side of the thing in the bathroom with the green stuff. But there's no mention of the bomb at all. It's like, but what? What happened?
I don't know. Maybe his hand needs to be. Maybe it's like it only works if it's on you. Like, you know what I mean? Like fingerprints or something
I
like
feel
that.
like it was a bit of a ruse to get us all excited for nothing. No climax at all.
All I know is fucking voodoo magic.
There's no splurt, no nothing.
No splurt.
Anyway, I watched Predator 2 because it's hot.
Well, that's cool. Before I get into what I've been watching, I am very excited because a very famous person liked my Facebook comment, and that was Luke
Michael
Skywalker
Barrymore.
himself. No, Mark Hamill himself, Mr. Luke Skywalker,
That's
liked my Facebook comment, which was basically someone was listing all the characters that Harrison Ford had played. Someone was listing, and they were listing different actors and why they were better than another actor because they're this, and this. Like, he's Harrison Ford, he's Indiana Jones, and he's Han Solo. Great, but then they got someone put Mark Hamill and said he's Luke Skywalker, but he's also done the voice of the Joker, and he named, because he does a lot of animated voices as well. But they missed one out, so I commented, he also is Skeletor, because in that Kevin Smith series on Netflix, he did Skeletor's voice and he was brilliant. And Mark Hamill liked my comment.
Nice.
So I feel like me and him are like just best friends now.
Yeah, I had like a real skater. I first got into skating one video watching a guy called Daewon Song.
I know Damon, yeah.
Amazing. And he liked saying I did. And he actually replied to it as well. I was like, fucking hell. That's cool.
That's cool. But what have I been watching? So before I get into my cinema trips, I just want to talk about Nicolas Cage.
Okay.
Because I watched the new Spider-Man series called Spider Noir
Oh, yeah.
on Prime.
I've not seen it. It looks fun. I've just not seen it. At some point, I'll probably just binge it. Or
You can
something,
watch
but-
it. You can watch it in colour or you can watch it in black and white.
Yeah, it's nice idea.
It might be one of the best things Nicolas Cage has ever done, just because he gets to really cut loose. And I say that about Nicolas Cage, who cuts loose in everything he does. He is unhinged in it, but also it's fun. It's not, you don't need to worry about Marvel or anything like that, because it's not connected to anything at all. It's set in a completely different place where Spider-Man happens to be, or the Spider as they call him. It's just a noir detective trying to solve a crime, and there just happens to be a couple of super-powered bad guys in New York, and he's swinging around and he's fighting bad guys, and he's always hungover and he's always drunk, and it's just really good fun. I watched it in colour, and I'm going to go back and watch it in black and white at some point, but I highly recommend Spider Noir. It was unexpectedly brilliant. Maybe I'm biased because I love Spider-Man and I love Nicolas Cage, but it's getting rave reviews. So wanted to mention that. But we both saw the couple of same movies. The first one I want to talk about.
Let me do a segue from yours into something which is quite fun. A horror movie called They Will Kill You.
Yes, I've heard that this is like Ready or Not, but it's actually very good fun.
Ready or Not, if like Tarantino was kind of doing it, or say the RZA was doing it.
It's got like the samurai
Produced
blood
by
squirts and
Tarantino.
stuff. Yeah. It's got like silly gore, blood splurting.
Yeah. So it's not quality of Kill Bill, but it's in the sort of same vein. Excuse the pun.
Very good.
And and there's lots of hip hop and stuff like that in it, and lots of like basically a lady with a big sword with no shoes on, just going around like killing people and stuff.
And they can't be killed, can they? It's not a spoiler. From what I've seen, these people can't be killed.
Yeah, I didn't know
only,
anything about
chop
it.
them up.
Yeah, they come back again. So yeah. Yeah, it's kind
sounds
of
fun.
it's kind of fun. Towards the end, I started losing a slight interest, but it's quite a fun film. But it's very, if you wanted to watch, I don't want to say Tarantino, but it is really in that ballpark. You know.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
Worth a watch. HBO Max. That's one.
That's cool. Well, we both went to see a very new horror movie that is doing absolutely blinding in the box office, and that is Backrooms, which only came out about a month ago as we record this. Very low budget for, compared to a lot of movies, and it's made its money back tenfold.
Well, it was going literally any company that put their money into new, like because of the internet sensation, it was going to get. So it's almost like a great investment. It's like we're probably going to get our money back. I think.
I think Kane Parsons is he 19? Am I right in saying?
I think
that?
he's 19 when he's directing it. Yeah. He was apparently. No, sorry for cutting you off. Apparently, he was very confident at directing it, and was actually finding. Apparently, they had it all very, very well planned out. But it was produced by Osgood Perkins and a few other people. Yep. But apparently, he was directing, because some people said, "No, I bet they were directing." No, I think he was directing.
It's got Chiwetel Ejiofor in it, and it's got some really established actors in it. It's got some fantastic visuals and audio in it.
It's a very sensibly directed film, isn't it? It's like almost a mature directed film.
Considering he was 19 at the time.
Yeah. Thinking about the lead actor as well, wouldn't have thought would be if you had some people like, we need to have a young 21-year-old. Do you know what I mean, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really interesting casting piece. It didn't go the way I wanted it to. I don't want to spoil it. I thought it was going to be more exploration of said rooms so much. So it didn't go the way I wanted it to, but it was fine.
Yeah, I enjoyed it more than Gav. I really came out of there thinking that was a fantastic cinema.
Without spoiling it, obviously.
Yeah, of course. I came out of there thinking that's a fantastic cinematic experience. It ticked all my visual boxes. It ticked all my audio boxes. It had my intrigue the entire time. It wasn't scary to me. One bit made me jump, but it wasn't even a scary bit. It was just a bit I wasn't expecting. There was some creepy stuff to it. I think I was better off not knowing much about the online videos, because I didn't really know. I've heard of the Backrooms and I've heard of the theories.
I had seen them. I think I'd probably be more well suited to just watching those videos, because those videos are like literally the camera, because obviously it was no budget and it's the camera just moving around the space that you'd created. I think on computers. I think. But yeah, it's doing really well. But it's a really good. In fact, it's a really good time, because it segue into the other film which was out as well. It's a really good time for horror, having independent, essentially YouTubers making films which are doing really well to probably scare some executives in Hollywood. We might have a stew of a load of movies like it coming out, and then within a year, possibly, 2 or 3 at least. I would have thought the next YouTube story type thing.
People are going to take a gamble on first-time horror directors, perhaps.
Which is good, because this is really good for horror, and whatever you think of the films, even if you hated both of them, and that's not me, I'm not saying that at all for myself. I'm saying if you hated them both, it's still good for horror. Yeah. It's going to get more movies made. Horror always saves cinema, always has done, and it's just never looked at in a good way with like the award system.
No, it's mental. Cool. And then I know where you're going to your segue.
Obsession, because Obsession was the other film that came out, so. That is Curry Barker, a film. He's a YouTuber who's making movies. I preferred his movie Cereal and Milk, which is like a found footage movie. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that on YouTube.
I like that one. I think a bit better. This one, it was okay. I think I'm almost the wrong demographic for the film. That's my issue, I think. I've never really had a psycho girlfriend, and a lot of the stuff that she did and happened, again, I'm not going to spoil it, I felt I kind of could see it coming, but I'm too long in the tooth with movies. I've seen so many movies, I could combine it all in my head and kind of know the scenes of what coming. The odd thing I didn't know coming, but it was fine. It was well made film though. It was well produced. I found at times it a little bit slow for myself, but that's because my interest wasn't there. But it's done really well financially and for horror again. So well done, that movie, and it's a well made movie. Of course, there's some good bits in it, and I think some people really like it, which they do. I don't think it's like a 9 out of 10 if it starts going like that on IMDb. It'd be a bit like, come on, YouTube fans, watch some other movies first. Come on.
Yeah, I don't think it's probably. I don't know what it's got on IMDb.
I think it's probably something
but
pretty high. Which I was like, no, I don't really think that, but that's obviously my opinion.
Yeah, Backrooms is sitting at 7.1, which is pretty high for a horror film.
I did also go to the cinema and watch The Omen.
Yes, you did.
It's fucking great. Just seeing the cathedral, because I live in the cathedral, I see the cathedral every week. Just seeing that in the cinema, that's well cool. Yeah, it's a really good film. Great movie to watch in the cinema. Except had a bloke and a woman just behind me, just over a little bit. Just keep talking. Just talking.
Shut up.
Pretty much through the whole movie, just talking.
Just shut up.
So I moved from where I was sitting and Sarah's to my left. I moved away from around Sarah's side. Unfortunately, Sarah had them in her earshot because I was not that many people in there, and they just talked normal level, just talking. They were literally just talking like they're at home. So what are you doing?
So annoying.
But I didn't say anything because I hate confrontation,
especially with the price of cinema tickets now.
Yeah,
and I talk about that.
These were bargain ones, but these were a little bit cheaper. But yes, because it's an old movie, but still, it's a bit like you can't be ruining it.
I know it's the cost of living, and everyone's paying more money. But I know you went to see Toy Story 5 as well. So did I. That was one of the things I did with the kids. It cost me like 50 quid to go see that with Jack and Edith.
Did it?
And buy some popcorn and some chocolate and some drinks and that's 2 5-year-olds and me. And then you're just paying through the nose for these things. And a friend of mine on Facebook posted his receipt. He went with his wife and 3 children, and they spent just over £200 watching Toy Story 5 because they all had a little bit of popcorn and a drink, and that's all very expensive. And then tickets are like 15 quid a pop if you go at the wrong time, the more expensive times, maybe more. So he's like, how are we supposed to afford a cinema anymore? As a family, you just can't do it. It's very expensive.
It is expensive, and it has been for quite a while. I luckily have a view near me where the cheap seats are $4.99. So I paid £12 for me and Elijah to go. And before we tucked into Sainsbury's. I was like, "Come on, get something for me."
You've got to get the
we spent a few quid in Sainsbury's. So really, our trip was about 15 quid, 16 quid.
And, a lot of these trips I went to in the last 5 visits I was lucky enough to get a cinema voucher for my birthday. And also, my wife's one of her best friends has moved to Bristol, and he gets hugely discounted cinema tickets. So I went to watch Backrooms with him, and I went to watch another film, which I'll talk about in a moment, with him as well. And he's very generous, just let me have it for the cheap amount. So I just bought him a drink, for 4 quid or something, and so I'm getting him for under a £5 for a couple of these visits. But some of them are expensive. But Toy Story 5 was fun. Not really something we'll probably talk about on this show. We both enjoyed it. It was great to see everybody back. Keanu Reeves, everybody was back in it.
You watched it with the kids?
Toy Story? Yeah.
I did. I thought for a second we both enjoyed it. You went with that man.
No.
I'd be like, why are you now going to Toy Story 5 for this man?
You and I both enjoyed it.
Oh, you're not trying to get into his back rooms?
No.
That's what he would be thinking.
It's all right. Toy Story 3 is still my favourite one.
4's the worst. It's kind of a bit pointless. 5, it has a message, if a little forced.
Yeah, which we already know, which is that screen time is bad time.
And Woody's like, all of a sudden, Woody's not that far away. He's like, what's going on there? It's like, I thought he was like out of the picture, and he's just like, oh, I'm just here. I'm saving a toy from the tree. And like, well, I thought you were like miles away. Like, what's going on? You're just there?
Yeah, it was all right. It's something fun for the kids to watch. However,
it was all right, yeah. I tell you what, Elijah really loved the 50 buzzes.
I'll say, yeah, that was fun when
all those
drone,
bits are really funny, and I
capability.
really enjoyed those bits, and he's like giggling away, which I quite enjoyed hearing.
But I mean, Buzz is probably my favourite character, and that always has been. And it was fun to see him upgraded, and that's not spoiling this at all. It's quite early on. You find out, toys have moved on, obviously, and some of them have got drone capabilities and can hover and stuff like that. So that was quite good fun. Yeah, there were some good bits in it, some fun bits in it. However, another movie I went to see, and I don't know if you've seen this yet, is Disclosure Day. You haven't seen it yet, have you?
No, I was going because of the air conditioning and how long it was. I was like, that'd be good, but I went home and did other stuff. I didn't have the time spared to do too many cinema trips, unfortunately. I did 4 in the span of a couple of weeks, so that was pretty good.
Disclosure Day is probably the best film I've seen in about 18 months. And I haven't seen many.
Since what was 18 months ago, his last movie?
I don't know. I just can't remember something.
Oh, that's not a specific date. You're just throwing that date out there. Right, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you meant a certain movie was like, that was my banging movie, and that came out exactly 18 months ago, I remember.
It was definitely the best thing Spielberg's done in a long time. And I've got to say that, what's her name? Emily Blunt is phenomenal in it.
I like Emily Blunt. She's fun.
Does a lot of heavy lifting. She speaks lots of different languages. The journey, it's like an extended X-Files episode where we're just following this one person really as all these strange things start unfolding, not only to her but also around the world. It also feels a bit of a Shyamalan movie, the best parts of Shyamalan movies as well, but it's done with a Spielberg. The things he does with cameras and one takes and one shots, and the performances he gets out of his actors, and there's a couple of thrilling action and chase scenes where I actually was holding my breath for about a minute. There's a scene on a train, and when it was over, I suddenly realised I hadn't breathed for about a minute. I went, oh. And I was in the story so hard. It was brilliant. And then the ending was so emotional for me. And a lot of people, the guy I went with, we both looked at each other, we were a bit teary, like, whoa, that blew us away. Just because Spielberg had sucked us into this story so much that when it was over, it was like, wow, like, breathe.
I think I'm going to do it here with my projector.
I don't want to overhype it.
That's why I'm going to do it here in my projector, I think. When it comes out.
It was dope, is what I will say. Really good. Really, 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 really good. I've got a couple more to talk about, but you please go. Please, anything else you've seen that you want to talk about? I
enjoyed the Hulk Hogan documentary.
Yes, I recommend that. I thought
that was a really good documentary, actually. I didn't think I'd really give a shit, and then started watching it, and I was like, no, I remember this certain era, but it's interesting just to see his story, actually. It's really interesting. I got a Blu-ray. I'm still upgrading my movie collection. I've got a fucking Steven Seagal Blu-ray box set, didn't I? Fucking Steven Seagal, mate.
It's probably his best 5 films that you've got there, as I said to you.
Under Siege 2, Nico, Hard to Kill, Executive Decision, and something else. Yeah, and I watched Under Siege 1 the other night, and I really enjoyed it, and I just want to really quickly talk about Under Siege. If you just like get a nice, really clear copy of it and just sit down and watch that movie, it's really fun, because it's only later on does Steven Seagal start to become the fucking, I'm just going to fucking flip my arms around a bit and all these people are just going to drop down. It's only later on, and it's early, like Under Siege, he hardly does any martial arts. At one point, he does actually push his finger through someone's eye socket and pop out their eye. And then at another point, he rips someone's throat out. And I was just like, whoa, okay. And nice Blu-ray copy, you can really see a clear bit of throat in his hand as well. And I was like, okay, didn't expect that so much. It's just like these bits I didn't really watch in the film. I'm seeing it for the new times, a new way sort of thing. And he is kind of good because he could do all these different things. He can set explosives. He knows what's going to come. He's almost like, I don't know what it is. MacGyver and a kind of James Bond in a way. Not smooth like Bond. Steven Seagal would never be James Bond. Fucking hell. He has got a ponytailed James Bond. Amazing. I'm going to make love to you, woman. You know.
But I'm going to keep my coat on while I do it because I'm overweight and I wear a girdle.
Yeah.
Under Siege 2, I never forget the bit of trivia. Under Siege 2, the IMDb trivia, that's the first movie he started wearing a girdle and he's worn one ever since.
Oh, it's a shame. But Under Siege 1 is actually a pretty decent film. There's a really good supporting cast. Fucking, obviously, Thingamajiggy in it.
Gary Busey?
Gary Busey, of course. And I was so good having Gary Busey in it. When he goes, I gotta go get my party dress on. He says that to the woman. I'm like, I was just watching it because I was really watching it. I was like, he actually is though, because I know he's about to go and get a dress on and come out to the party going, with his teeth out, really big teeth, and he's got makeup on in a dress.
Imagine being at a party and Gary Busey comes out in a dress.
And he's just jawing it with his teeth all over the place. Dancing around. And it's just like, what is going on? Tommy Lee Jones is there as a hippie guitarist going, what is going on? But there's some other actors in there. You'd be like, oh, fucking hell, there's that person and that person. It's well worth a watch. I'm going to say, if you're bored and you go, I haven't seen it for a while, Bank Holiday Monday movie or whatever, Under Siege, I'm going to recommend it.
It's a great film. My last piece of trivia, my favourite trivia of all time from Under Siege 2 is Spielberg, Steven Seagal really lobbied and tried to get to change the script so that it included him fighting werewolves on the train. Do you remember that? Yeah, I know.
I've heard some really crazy shit that he's done before.
Why werewolves?
Like really
Steven?
Weird ideas.
Why?
Yeah.
It's you're fighting terrorists in the real world. Steven Seagal fighting werewolves. I mean, I would love to see that, but it's not happening, is it? Let's be honest.
No. I'm glad Executive Decision was on the box set as well, because essentially, no spoiler, but it is a spoiler, Seagal dies really early on. He doesn't even make it onto the boat where the plane with the terrorists are on. But it's a Kurt Russell movie, is what it is. Yeah. So I was like quite happy to get that on Blu-ray because it comes in the box set.
And Kurt Russell's son, Wyatt Russell, is in Disclosure Day as well. Just a small role, but he's in it as well. Yeah, it's good to see him doing bigger and bigger things.
We're going to talk about games now. On the PlayStation 5, I was with Sarah and I was like, oh, fuck it, look, RoboCop's on sale. So I bought RoboCop. I sent you some pictures from it. Fuck me, that's such a good game. When you're walking along, you're basically POV RoboCop, so you're just in it's really heavy footsteps, and people are shooting you, and you're just a copper. There's a mission going on, but at one point, a side stage, it's like, Robo, can you help me on the desk? And you have to go in on the desk where there's a line of people who've got problems, like my cat's up a tree, and you have to help them as RoboCop. Because you're just a policeman doing your police work. I was like,
when did you last see your cat?
It's a kind of a choice. So, how do you want to answer this? And you're like, okay, we'll go this way. And it's really cool. And anyway, there's a story to it. But the gun shooting stuff is really fucking good because the green lines come up and it's really good fun. So me and Sarah like taking turns with it, and we're just going through it. And we play it when we see each other. It's good. It's really enjoyable. So I fully recommend RoboCop Rogue City on the PlayStation 5.
Amazing. Well, I can segue quite nicely off from RoboCop to something AI related, and that is a movie called Afraid, where the A and the I are AI.
Me and Sarah watched about 3/4 way through. Like, fucking hell, we've seen this already.
It's John Cho, isn't it? Who I quite like.
I don't know why we forgot it. Did you forget it after you'd seen it?
No, I really enjoyed it.
I don't know what happened.
It was a bit like Megan, but if Megan was in your Alexa.
Yeah.
And quite dark, actually.
It was fine. It's all right. It kind of had some intriguing stuff to it, the way it went.
It's only an hour and 20 minutes.
Netflix.
So it gets in and gets out, yes, and it's on Netflix UK. That's why I watched it, because it popped up on there. And I like John Cho. He was in that found footage movie that's on someone's laptop where he's lost his daughter or something. So he just seems to be doing a few more horror movies these days. I've got 2 more to talk about. Do you have any more? No? Cool. Well, I'm going to kind of bounce from one to the other here. So I watched Furiosa, which flopped because it kind of no one went to see it. Everyone was saying, "Oh, it's rubbish compared to Mad Max Fury Road." However, fans, like film fans and viewers, absolutely love it. It's got 7.5 on IMDb. I had a blast with it. I thought it was really, 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 really good. As good as Mad Max Fury Road, in my opinion. The action sequences were some of the best I've ever seen because they barely use any CGI. So they had all these rigged up, you know what it's like in Mad Max Fury Road. It's like that times 100. Great cast, great action, great story. I'll definitely go back and watch it again, and it would be a great double bill with Mad Max Fury Road. The reason I'm mentioning this is because it got me thinking about another film that I'd been to see at the cinema, which is my climax, as it were, of our intro. So with Furiosa, flopped. And a lot of films flop, like a lot of John Carpenter movies, they flop. And then 50 years later, we are still talking about them.
Can't
Do you
have
know
a
what I mean?
climax with a flop, can we?
You can't have a climax with a flop. But we're talking about John Carpenter films 50 years later when The Thing made no money at the box office. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's got to be something to be said for the amount of money that's made from a film versus what people really think. And the reason I'm saying all of this is Masters of the Universe came out. Masters of the Universe came out. I've seen it twice at the cinema. I went with my son and I went on my own the first time. It is... Now, I'm a He-Man fan, obviously, the biggest. It is a film made for He-Man fans, which is not a bad thing. It's fucking great. That's a very small demographic, though, of mainly guys, some girls, aged in a very small bracket. Everybody that has watched that has loved it. It gets nothing but great praise online, all the He-Man communities, a lot of things I'm watching, like even Empire gave it a good rating, like I think 4 out of 5. However, it's not made any money. And people are actually going to see this multiple times. I've seen it twice. A lot of people on the communities I follow are watching it 3-4 times, taking their children the second time, the third time, introducing them to He-Man and Skeletor. It's the best popcorn film I've seen in a long time, in that you can just turn your brain off and watch toys fighting each other. They perfectly recreated the look of the cartoon and the toys. Brian May doing the guitar and the music along with the darkness. The soundtrack is phenomenal. You've got some Queen songs in there. But it's crazy to me, and it's got like a 7.1 on IMDb, which again is super high. Everyone's like, it's bombed. It has bombed. Now, Prime, Amazon have already said we're going to do a sequel, and that's going to be out in a couple of years, because I won't spoil it, but there's some stuff that leads into a sequel. But isn't it crazy that all the negative press around it is, it's made no money. It cost 200 million to make, and it's only made 150. Okay, but everyone loved it. Everyone that went to see it has loved it. And I know it's all down to business, but it's a brilliant film for people that, and you will love it. I know you won't go to cinema to watch it, but when it comes to Prime,
yeah, that's fine.
You'll have a blast.
I try and get
age.
Elijah to watch it with me.
Yeah, you'll love it. Skeletor is Skeletor. He-Man is He-Man. It's not got any sort of messages behind it or anything. It's just bad versus evil. Cool fight scenes, magic, all that kind of stuff. Great soundtrack.
I tell you what's unfortunate is Marvel have put me off wanting to watch movies where He-Man would be very fantastic in its way its settings are, and there's obviously a lot of green screen image stuff, which is cool, but do you know what I mean? Because there's so many it's kind of made the realism of film kind of fall away.
But that's the thing for me, is it wasn't trying to be anything but the cartoon in live action, or the toys in live action, and that is all very colourful, bright.
I will watch it at home for sure.
For me, I got emotional watching it. I won't spoil why. I was also emotional because I was so happy to watch it, because I waited my whole life to watch a real He-Man film, and I love the Dolph Lundgren one. We covered it from 1987, but this was like the real He-Man film, and I've since realised the message behind it. And I said there isn't a message. There is a small message, which is basically men have power, and they can choose to use that power to hurt people, or to protect and look after and help people. And Prince Adam, or He-Man, has to learn that, and he learns it the hard way. He has to learn that. And I thought that is a really clever way of doing it, because it's not trying to be woke, and I don't like that term, but it's not trying to be woke, it's not trying to do this, it's not trying to do that.
Cartoons of the 80s had good morals behind them generally.
Yeah. In today's story, we learned, and that's kind of what what it is, so really.
They could use that as well, yeah.
So people are taking their sons to see it. It's great. Jack enjoyed it. We did have to leave after an hour and 25 minutes because A, it's just over 2 hours long with credits, and B, he was very, very scared of Beast Man. In fact, I took my shirt off, not my t-shirt, I took my overshirt off, and he put it over his head on some of the scenes because it was too scary for him. And it is like a PG-13, 12A, so I probably shouldn't have taken him in. He's only 5. But he found it too scary, and in the end he asked, "Can we just go to McDonald's now?" I said, "Yeah, come on then. You've sat through enough." I could tell he was shitting himself. So that's my last one. It hasn't made money, but everyone's enjoying it.
Well, good. I've randomly, I'll just say this, then we can get on with the show. I randomly have been making a music video for someone. They just said I didn't realise like how famous this band is in the era of the swinging 60s. I had no idea. Basically, there's this innovative British music producer called Joe Meek, who was like really ahead of his time and really explored sound and stuff like this, and loads of people would work for him and stuff. Like guitarist Deep Purple was his session guitarist and stuff like this. And he turned down the Beatles at one point. He's a really paranoid guy as well. He thought people were trying to figure out his techniques the whole time, and he just did it in his flat. And like record studios were kind of scared of him because he was making all these hits all the time. It's kind of like Simon Cowell, but if Simon Cowell was actually kind of cool and did it in a little flat, and it was like all indie, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So he turned the Beatles down. Apparently he threw Tom Jones down a flight of stairs once because he wasn't doing a good enough job.
Jesus Christ, that's not unusual.
Fucking hell. And anyway, so he was just working with this band called the Tornadoes, and he made this song which was 60 years old, and it's just coming out again. So I'm making a music video for it, but he made this, one of the last songs he made. Then he apparently shot his landlady, then shot himself with a shotgun.
Jesus Christ.
And he was into the occult and stuff as well. He did a seance once, and Buddy Holly's guitar, he's trying to contact Buddy Holly, and a guitar string pinged when they said, "Are you there?" It's Buddy Holly.
Wow.
I know. Anyway, so this song was never released, and now it's finally been released 60 years later. I had no idea this dude I've known for years as a guitarist for the band. I had no idea.
Amazing.
He's never said this to me. In passing, he's like, "Oh, I was in a band." And I was like, "Have we got a song?" I was like, "I can do your video if you want." He goes, "Yeah, all right." And that was it. That's how it came about.
Amazing.
Yeah, and then I looked into it. I was like, shit. They're really famous. My mum's like, "Oh, we used to love the Tornadoes." Oh, yeah. But then I looked into it more, and they made this song called Telstar, which is like real synth. It's really crazy stuff. And Tornadoes doing. Joe Meek produced it. He's doing all these crazy sound and shit. He was gay apparently when it's still illegal to be gay.
Wow.
So it was like a whole thing going on, and he was like really like crazy and stuff like this, but he was really ahead of his time. Anyway, so he made this song, and it never got released because he died. So it's finally been released, so I made a music video for it. Well, I've taken a live video of theirs, and I've cut it for this video, and made it a bit swinging 60s, a bit Austin Powers as well. Yeah, baby. And I didn't realise how famous he was, and I was looking up, and I was like, "Oh shit!" In 2008, they made a movie called Telstar, the Joe Meek story, about him writing this one song by the Tornadoes.
Wow.
With Kevin Spacey in it, and James Corden plays one of the tornadoes.
What?
And I'm doing a music video, and it's a bit like, that's really weird. I didn't realise. So that's kind of cool. So I'm doing that at the moment, which is quite fun.
Amazing.
And
wow.
I handed my edit in, and I got 0 notes.
That's the dream.
I know. I'm just doing the opening and stuff. I need to finish it this evening, but hopefully when we finish. But yeah, that's been quite fun, and I just didn't realise.
Please send that to me when it's ready.
I can do. Yeah, I'll send you. I'll send you a little sneak preview, but then it'll go up on the interwebs and stuff. But it's quite interesting. I had no idea. Another member of the band that lives in Miami has checked out the video, what I've done. He says he really likes it. So cool.
Nice. One thing I should probably mention. I mentioned changing the format of our show. We're only covering one movie. Yeah. We also no longer have Bill Murray with us. World of the Strangers, it's never always gone away, but it's been retired for some time. We have a new segment called Pop Fiction, which will be Pop Fiction, and that'll be coming up. That'll be coming up later on after our main review, and that's going to be us talking about one piece of pop culture, something that hit hard in the 70s, 80s, or 90s. And just discussing that, some facts on it, our experiences were of it, blah, blah, blah. Garbage Pail Kids trading cards is this episode's subject. So stick around for that after the review. Talking of review, Gav, shall we have a little trailer for Summer of 84? This was your pick. You chose this one. We'll talk about why in a moment. So, yeah, should we have a little trailer for Summer of 84?
I think we should. Should we get into it? We've been talking for long enough.
We have, but we miss each other, so it's fine.
All right, here we go.
The sheriff's office reports they're likely looking for a white male. Preferred targets appear to be males aged 12 to 16.
It's a serial killer.
The Cape May Chronicle received a letter from an individual calling themselves the Cape May Slayer.
There's a serial killer on the loose. What else could possibly be this exciting? Incoming titties. 12 o'clock. Guys, Nikki Kashuba. Scientifically the perfect woman.
Huh. Better view of my room than I thought. Sweet dreams.
Emergency meeting. Treehouse. Now, Mackie is the Cape May Slayer. Mackie's a cop with a sick reputation. Wasn't counting on us. Blood.
Davey.
Hey.
Guys, I'm freaking out, okay?
Relax. You look like you're 30. It's gonna be fine. Now go. You're gonna get caught either by Mackie or your dad. I know I'm right about him.
That doesn't prove anything.
Are you with me?
I don't want anything bad to happen to you.
We're trying to save people. Yeah, well, you're not.
Guys at the station are gonna love this.
Just let it go.
Sorry again that you're grounded. Let's see if I can get you out of this house. No hard feelings.
You were wrong. You're wrong about everything. Even serial killers live next door to somebody.
Summer of 84, 2018, rated 15, an hour and 45 minutes. After suspecting that their police officer neighbour is a serial killer, a group of teenage friends spend their summer spying on him like perverts. It doesn't say like perverts, and gathering evidence. But as they get closer to discovering the truth, things get dangerous.
Things get dangerous. So this was your choice.
I'm a big fan of this film. When I first watched it, it basically speaks to me. I love Fright Night. Fright Night is a special place in my heart, being a bloody only kid, getting that copy of that on VHS, going home and loving it, and just being like, because Charlie Brewster is just like this weird kind of kid. And you even had Evil, which was kind of like a weird kind of kid, but a loner sort of kid. Then his next door neighbour, he doesn't go anywhere, but his next door neighbour's doing something and he thinks it's a vampire. And it's just, I love that it's all close in the burbs, all the neighbours, or at least in the town, it's very small almost. And I love that next door neighbour, basically taken from the originally Hitchcock's Rear Window. Yes.
Yeah, Rear Window.
Not rear view window. Rear Window. And I just love that concept of just being there and being stuck and just being not looking around and just seeing something you shouldn't see. So really, should you have looked? If you don't look, it would never have happened, and things are going to happen anyway. So should you look? And this kind of throws into, it's the same sort of Disturbia. There's a found footage movie, most of it's found footage, which is kind of like this, where they put it's thingy from Misery.
Kathy Bates?
The gentleman.
James
Caan. It's James Caan as an old fella there. You would have seen it. I think it's called The Good Neighbour, and it's these two kids, and they put cameras in there because they think he's up to something. Or they just want to fuck around with him. But it's kind of, I like this idea. I think Fright Night does it well, and this concept does it again really well. And there's a murder mystery element to it. The casting's incredible. It's a very well produced film. All the young kids in it, the 4 kids in it, you could imagine them in an 80s film. It's just really well done. I love the fact that one thing is, if you've not seen this movie, we're going to spoil it, and we're going to spoil some surprises and some feelings you might have watching this film, because the ending isn't typical, and it's very, very subtle. It's very quiet. It's very close to home. And it really gets to you. And we're going to spoil that. And it's a really good feeling for a horror movie, because it's not normal. You don't normally get that ending. And that ending made me go, I messaged you, and we have to do this film because of the ending. I really like it. It's a really well made film. It speaks to me. I was a kid in the 80s, so.
Totally. I mean, I was a fan of this. I think it was a Shudder original at one point. I had to rent it on YouTube.
I think they probably bought the rights for like 3 years or something.
Yeah, so it wasn't on there anymore. But I think this is my 3rd time watching it now, because I knew it quite well.
Blu-rays and DVDs of it. Blu-rays are just crazy expensive. You can get a special one in a special box, and it's about 90 quid, I think.
I was a fan of it for the same reasons. You've already mentioned sort of Disturbia, Rear Window, obviously Fright Night. The movie that it references the most, very subtly, is The Burbs, which, funny enough, I watched during that heatwave last week, because it's a very hot movie, and there's a lot of Burbs references in this.
And I like it's the Burbs as well as I like the whole, they're all neighbours, that sort of thing.
But the other thing it does well, because it's dangerous to veer so close to it, but it does get close to being another Stranger Things, because it's set in the 80s. But they do it in a way that's very well done. It's
one of those things. It's good and it's bad that this came out in that time. It's good for them because Stranger Things is busy and popular. The bad thing is, I think it kind of got a little bit under the radar because Stranger Things was so epically big doing it already.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Another movie I love was Super 8 as well, which was similar. It had a bit of a Spielberg vibe to it.
It does. It's a shame that movie really fizzles out. The concept is great and it starts off okay, and it's just...
It goes too big, in my opinion, Super 8. It goes too big and they show you too much and too much of a budget.
Yeah, I think you just stop caring.
Yeah. Still, I really enjoy it, but it just is... Yeah.
This movie was directed by 3 people.
Yes, it is directed by 3 people.
Insanity.
Yeah, Francois Simard.
2 brothers, to be fair.
Anouk Wissel and, Jan-Carl Wissel as well. Yeah. So 3 people directed this, which is nuts.
It's interesting, really.
I wonder if like 2 of them worked with the kids and the kid scenes, and like the other one did with the adult scenes or something, I don't know. Good cast though, like you say. No one you would really recognise in this, but that works in its favour, because you're not like, it's that so-and-so from so-and-so. Because if they made this now, they'd have all the Stranger Things cast in this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mike from Stranger Things seems to be popping up in everything whenever they need like a younger looking teenager.
These kids are fairly perfect though, aren't they?
Yeah.
I like the fact though the one that they get to drive in Stuart's mum's car, and they say, "But you look 30." He does look 30,
and he is close. He's in his mid-20s. So that was like an in joke.
I'm glad, because I was just like, what is up with this kid? If he's that young and he's like that size, that is epically.
But that again, that kind of almost homages movies where like Grease, and
he plays it very well though. And the other kids are kind of perfect. The guy with the kind of dark hair, he kind of reminds me of the bad boy on this BMX in the Monster Squad.
Yeah.
Hey Rudy, you gonna eat it?
And I feel like this movie references Monster Squad as well a little bit.
Yeah.
But then Goonies, any movie where there's a bunch of kids in the 80s, and that's fine. It doesn't take the piss. It doesn't outstay its welcome with regards to those homages. It just glances over them. And the main kid in it, the one playing Davey, he's perfect, isn't he? He's so innocent. Yeah, he's great. Yeah, really believes in his, and they believe him. He's a leader. It's got a great score as well. Good film. It's got a great score as well. Synth score a lot of the time. Yeah, it's again very Stranger Things. Yes. It is. And that's why I feel like it went under the radar. I think people probably haven't seen it. So I think this is a great time, if you've not seen this movie, I hope we're promoting it, for you to rent it out and check it out. I tell you, the other movie, another one it references a couple of times, is The Lost Boys as well. Even with the poster of the milk carton. Absolutely. Isn't it a well-produced film overall? Like good casting, you say? Yeah. It's filmed well. It feels like an 80s movie. It's very, very well done. Because sometimes it's quite hard to get that legit dynamic of a traditional movie, and it's to push it like that could be, you push it too far, so it's almost over the top. This is done perfectly. It's just done really well. I recommend. So, let's get this out in the open now and do the spoiler very quickly. So if you haven't seen this, stop. But there is a character in this that they suspect to be a serial killer. Dun, dun, dun. He is a serial killer. And that's the character of Mackie, who is a cop. And isn't that, though, just brilliant? Because when you watch this for the first time, so you really need to watch this movie if you haven't seen it, but if you watch this for the first time, you're watching it and you start to doubt yourself, because it's a murder mystery, and you start going, well, it can't be him. They're saying it's the cop from the get-go. It can't be he's like he's the colourful fish, isn't he, Dan? Yes, it is the red herring. It's not like Fright Night, where we know Jerry Dandridge is definitely evil. We're led to believe that this guy, okay, there's a few things here and there, but we're like, nah, man, he's a cop and he's good. And there's even a scene where he's like, come on, hey, can I do anything to help you? Come on, you're a good kid. There's a few scenes actually where he really does a good job of trying to convince us, the audience, but also the kids in this, that he's a good guy. And when that rug is pulled from underneath us, the first time you watch this, that rug is pulled, you're like, oh shit, he is a serial killer. Yeah, and the whole time they called it, and he is the killer all the way through the movie. Yeah, he's the killer. We're watching the whole time, and that's the best thing about it. And I think as a kid, it's hard to remember, but watching The Burbs, certainly one of the first times I watched it, finding out the Klopeks really do have a bunch of skeletons in the trunk of their car, that hit me with about the same impact. Because I was like, oh, Tom Hanks was, oh shit, there really is skeletons in this trunk. Right. Because it's up until that point he gets in the ambulance and says, I'm going to kill you, Tom Hanks. Up until that point you're like, oh man, they burnt that guy's house down. They were just weird. They weren't killers. And it's kind of in the way they do that in this as well. It's all the way through it. And because he's a cop as well, you're like, oh no, although cops aren't always good, as we know. But because he's a cop as well, and he's been through trauma, he's lost some of his family. You're like, no, he's got to be a good guy. He's got to be a good guy. These kids are just paranoid. But well, let's get into it, shall we? Yeah, totally. But it's a really fun film. It is fun. I think the fact that
the whole time. I like the fact the whole time he's the killer, and we're just like, is he? Like I said, you get to a certain point through the film, you're like, maybe he's not the killer, and I really enjoy that. But yes, we should go for it.
It. Just quickly before we do, it's one of those rare ones where when you know, it's fun to go back and watch it again.
Yeah. So watching it for a review, definitely. It was just like, I know, it maybe isn't as fun, obviously, but it is fun. I think if you haven't seen it and you want to listen to this first and go watch it, I think even though you know what's happening, I think you'll still have fun with it, because we can't talk the suspense in the film, and there's some good work.
It's well scripted, it's well scripted.
It's well produced.
The second time I watched this, I think I'd still forgotten. I was doubting whether or not he was the serial killer, but this time around, straight from the beginning, I was like, I remember now. He's. So I was really looking at those details.
We start off with a commentary, and we have a commentary through the movie once in a while, and basically this is our lead character, who is Davey. I don't know these guys from anything else.
No,
this is a Graham Vassar. Dave playing Davey Armstrong. Like we said, he's got 3 buddies and stuff. But yeah, this is commentary from him, and he's just talking generally about the neighbourhood, people keep it to themselves, etc. And it's quite interesting here, because it's him just going along like riding his BMX through the town. He's a
Paperboy.
A Paperboy. I was thinking it reminded me of Paperboy, the game.
I was thinking that too. I love that game.
And he's going along, and it's just a little commentary, and people are smiling. But those people later on, we see them crying away and stuff like that. Like, it's like one side of it. It's basically having 2 sides, like the killer having these 2 sides. So they were like happy, but later on we see them crying on the bed, like the person's mum and stuff like that.
And this opening narration, and I'll be doing this a lot, apologies, but I love the Burbs. This opening narration about everything seems normal on the surface in the suburbs, but people have got secrets behind their doors. This is very similar to that speech that Art gives at one point in the Burbs, when he talks about Skip, the killer who killed everybody with his soda fountain, and buried the bodies, and everyone smelt it. So it's kind of, again, you can tell they're fans.
It's
the guys
literally like
this.
Friday Night, the Burbs rear window had a baby.
Yeah,
really.
It's a cute little baby, and it's very, lovely and fun to watch. So,
and we get basically straight away, we get our main 2 characters, our protagonist and our antagonist. We don't know that this guy, anything about this guy, apart from he's asking this kid if he can help him down to the cellar with his fridge.
Now that's why I wanted to straight away spoil it. Because we're introduced to the serial, like a Columbo episode, and we're introduced straight away.
What this does to you as a listener, straight away, you have a guard up for this kid. You want to protect this kid, and you're straight away looking at this guy going, there's something going on with this dude. But he plays it so nicely, not nicely, he plays it absolutely normal, that nothing happens. So it's almost getting you to have your guard straight away. So you have this, but it slowly goes away from you, so you don't suspect it. I really enjoy this bit.
It makes you feel a bit guilty for suspecting that there's something wrong with this cop, like he's a paedophile.
We don't
or something
know
like
he's
that.
a cop yet, though, ladies and gentlemen.
No, we don't.
He's a cop,
yeah.
but we don't know he's a cop yet as well, which is quite interesting. When we find that out, that's quite interesting as well.
It's funny, having rewatched Gran Torino a couple of weeks ago, this scene reminded me a little bit of when Clint Eastwood's like, help me with this fridge. With that scene where he gets the kid to help him with the fridge. But this is like a more comical version of it.
And when he's talking to the kid, he's like saying, he sort of tells him how he remembers it. I remember you as a kid round here. And you're like, is he going nonce or is he going serial killer?
Yeah. So he helps the killer, Mackie, with a chair, take it down to his basement.
Do you know, I learned what nonce means. Not on normal courtyard exercise.
I do, yes, I know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, you do. For any more paedophile facts, stay tuned. We've said paedophile a lot already in this episode.
We have. We're definitely getting flagged by AI.
Spotify is going to ban this episode. So Davey, whilst Davey is helping Mackie with this heavy chair down into the attic, he says he spots a door, like a secret door in the attic that leads into perhaps another room. And it's locked, and he thinks, what the fuck is this?
And the thing is, later on we find out, there's literally a corpse rotting away down there.
Yep. But he says, oh, you spotted my little room. Do you want to...
Nonce.
Do you want to see what's in there?
No. Don't look in this dark hole.
He says that it's my dark room. Oh. I'm somewhat of an amateur photographer.
Oh.
He says, and Davey then is quite excited. He's like, oh, well, my dad's a cameraman for the local news, and I'm an amateur videographer, So Davey's got this kind of, a bit like Super 8, he's got this camera that he borrows from his dad, and he's really into filming stuff.
But we, currently right now, he's grooming this kid because he plans on killing this kid. There's this serial killer that's been going around for the past 10 years. He's taken out 15 kids. And which is what we're going to learn as we go through this story, but I'm telling you now. He plans, because later on he has a photograph of him in his place because he planned on having him as one of his victims. He's starting to groom him, saying this stuff. Yeah. And the way he just calls it out and says, oh, it's a photography. He might have said to him, can I have a look then? Obviously, he could be like, no, there's a load of pictures in there, they're just drying now, or they can't be disturbed, or something. But it's quite risky, isn't it? But he's grooming him.
Yes, yeah. But not for anything sexual, just to
to kill him as a victim. He's getting his... He's probably wants... Like, a proper serial killer style, he's probably gaining that real, one. Almost like, I fucking hate the guy. The dude, the old fellow, used to put pins in his groin. Fish... what's he called? Fucking Albert Fish. What he did to a young child that had gained proper... I won't go into it now, it's disturbing. Proper trust. And I think the power of that is getting off it. So I think he's trying to get him to really like him, proper serial killer style, to have that pleasure when he kills him. And the fear that all of a sudden, the realisation that the kid has that this is not a safe person.
So it's a confusing scene the first time around. You're like, is he a paedophile? What is going on here?
It's good. It's taking you off guard slightly.
Yeah, it's cool. So we cut away from that now to the first scene in the clubhouse. So every gang has got a clubhouse in the 80s. And they've got a porno mag. We meet Davy's friends, Tommy, Curtis, Dale, although Dale is known as Woody. He's the larger chap who's close to 30, playing like a 17-year-old or whatever. But
it's quite a strange choice, isn't it?
Nobody is as bad as that guy in Christine, who's like 45, playing a 19-year-old.
No.
There's no one as bad as him.
I'm going to say, though, of all the friends there, the dude with the glasses looks really like Martha Plimpton from the Goonies. Like, really does.
Yeah.
So it was funny that this casting reminded me of different 80s movies, and at least somebody must have been like, it does look a little bit like that one from the Goonies with glasses.
Yeah. And this scene is a little bit Stand By Me in the clubhouse, like reading a porno, chatting,
It's this with Monster Squad.
Yeah.
And this is why it's really well done. So if you're a fan of 80s films, you've not seen this movie, search it out. But you probably have to rent it because it's not on Shudder anymore. And it is very expensive.
It's expensive. But during this clubhouse, a little bit of an exposition dump, they just talk about... There's been a lot of missing kids over the last 10 years. Yeah. And they talk about this potential serial killer that's out there. They also look at the porno mag. They talk shit because that's what little boys do. And that's kind of that, really. Then we see Davy's bedroom. Go on.
I was going to say the BMX in a moment, but yes, Kay, it's before you're talking first, before that.
Yeah, so then we see Davy's bedroom with the wall of weird.
He's basically like really into weird stuff, high strangeness,
like the National Enquirer,
the world of the strange. You know, he's into it. So all these articles are pasted over his wall, basically like grey and black ink, just loads of articles: UFO, Bigfoot, Loch Ness.
Yeah. Pretty much, like
so. When it does get to find out, because his dad's the cop, isn't it? Was it his dad's cop? No,
his dad is the cameraman for the local news company.
Okay, yeah.
So he gets the information. Getting phone calls and like, it's been a minute, you've got to get here.
Back in the day, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, if you're too young, when you have a landline on a phone at a house, if you've got another phone in another room, you can subtly, but you can hear a click if you're not good enough. You can hear, take it off and listen to the conversation. So later on, he gets well excited because there's literally been a murder in his town.
Yeah.
And he's just like, this is it! It's like the Ghostbusters, we got one!
You can listen in. I mean, I used to pick up like the bedroom phone in my parents' bedroom and listen in to my parents' phone calls. Yeah. It was never very interesting. It was always like, what time are you coming around Grandma's? Okay, great. Daniel, are you on the other line? I can hear you breathing. And I'd put the phone back down. Right.
It's your son.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ. It wasn't like that.
And then we got the scene of them all on their BMXs with really underused and only played once. I don't know if they only had the rights to be able to play it once, but I think once you got, I don't know this actually, I should do. If you've got the rights to a song, how many times you could play in the film? I assure you could probably play it a couple of times, as many as you want, I'd have thought. Anyway, they've got Bananarama, Cruel Summer playing, which is so good, and it's like that's the chorus, Cruel Summer, is really good, and it kind of tells what's going on with the film, and it should have been used again.
Well, the reason they used that song is because that scene is directly homaging Daniel LaRusso from The Karate Kid when that song plays. When I don't
remember. I've only seen Karate Kid once when I was a kid.
Yeah, so that is directly homaging Daniel riding on his BMX to that song playing. It's a great song as well.
And very quickly, in the 80s, I think I've told you a story before, gutted though, I rode my fucking BMX, which is a really rad BMX. I can't remember the make again now, for fuck's sake. And I took it to the arcade and I left outside. It was a GT. It was a silver GT. It's super nice. Left outside, went to play arcade, came out, and it's gone.
Bastards.
I had trust as a child that the 80s was safe, and it wasn't.
No. So, other bits of exposition we quickly glazed over. They've got remote walkie-talkies. They talk to each other at night. We've talked about Davey's dad. Davey's got binoculars. He spies on his hot neighbour, but he's never seen her naked yet. And his dad says in the morning, "Oh, you know, you're going to be the next Spielberg son if you carry on the way you are." You know, and he's sort of there's a Spielberg Easter egg there as well. The Cruel Summer bit. They arrive at the bowling arcade. And we get the typical, like, boys, oh, my God, look at the girls. The girls are so hot. Or we could never speak to the girls. Look at them. And they see this one girl, Nikki, who's like the cool punk girl that's just completely unobtainable. And that's because she used to babysit Davey. So she's a little bit older and she used to babysit Davey.
But Davey's been having wet dreams over her.
He's been thinking about her since he was 10 years old.
Yeah.
Thinking, oh... And they make some inappropriate comments, and he's like, "Guys, she was my babysitter." And I'm like, "Yeah, I bet she was." So the poor guy, you know, they're obviously all young virgins, never even probably spoken to a girl. Later on, Davey is spying on his neighbours again, as he does.
Yeah, what is up with that? Him actually doing that though?
Because there's no internet, there's no tablets, there's no phone. So you're just bored in your room, you're looking out the window, you've got binoculars, you've got a walkie-talkie. Guys, I'm looking at the neighbour, she's taking her top off. And then she shuts the blinds, it's like you don't see anything, but, you know. And then his dad gets the phone call quite late at night, so he thinks, oh, this could be juicy. So he picks up the...
Very, very quickly before that, early on, there's a scene of them all sitting. It's just another scene setting the era really well. They're all sitting there having a TV dinner.
Yeah.
They've all got trays of food, watching the TV, and they're all just looking at the telly, and then they're talking, but they're looking at the telly while eating their dinner. And I remember being a kid in the 80s, and we all just sat looking at the telly, eating our dinner on tray stuff, and it's so, it's so correct. But
That's
anyway,
because they would have just got a microwave,
Yeah.
That is a new piece of technology,
Oh. Anyway, so later on he's in his bedroom and he's got binoculars. Yes.
And then the phone rings late at night. He picks it up and he overhears his dad say, "Hey, Dad, we think there's been another killing by the serial killer. Get your camera here now." And he's like, "Oh, I've got to run," because it's quite an exciting job, if you're a cameraman for the local news team. But obviously Davies overheard this, so he then radios his buddies and says, "Guys, a serial killer."
Excited.
And they're like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Let's meet now."
He's been having wet dreams about this as well.
Yeah. Well, I hope not. But and then on the news it says there's been 15 dead teenagers. There's a bit more exposition on the news.
They give a bit of a description, etc. And he already starts fingering his neighbour.
Oh, Jesus Christ. They do. The description does match his neighbour. They do, when they're all in his bedroom, though, because they all sneak around his house late at night, they suddenly spot Nikki, the hot ex-babysitter. She's getting undressed. And she's, they don't see anything, but they almost see. I think they see a bit of back.
Very quickly, we didn't mention, and I was popping right back to earlier on, after the initial introduction of the film, when they're playing Manhunt, which they play every night hiding around the neighbourhood, which is a really great way of them getting out and about and looking around the neighbourhood. I thought it was a really easy, ingenious way of doing that. The main guy, I don't know if you said it or not, the main guy spots the guy who asked him to pull the fridge in, who we think's the killer, who is the killer, with one of the kids, very Jerry Dandridge with the prostitute. Sex worker. I had 80s slang then, prostitute. And he sees that, and then someone grabs him in Manhunt, and his mind gets taken away. But just for a second, he sees it with this kid, who we then, later on, that's the kid on the news article, they say he's gone missing. And that's why he
sees him on the milk carton, doesn't he?
Yeah, and then he puts that together in the description, and that's why he fingers his neighbour. But we didn't say that initial bit where he saw him with the kid, and that's why he thinks it.
Yeah. So this Manhunt is a really good plot device.
Yeah, it's great.
Because it's a reason for them all to sneak out of their bedrooms late at night.
They could be anywhere. They can look through windows. They can do everything they want. They can hide, see stuff which no one else knows that they're there. It's really good.
Because they're not just walking around the streets, they're playing Manhunt. Therefore,
they're playing a game.
Stealth. It's stealth. It's like hide and seek, but dark at night. And also the thrill that you shouldn't really be out. Your parents think you're in your bedroom. So it's a great thing to do. And again, this was before the internet and when kids just got out and played and did cool stuff. Not to be old man shouts at clouds, but, Gav, the next day, they do something we love. They go to the library and they use one of those...
Very quickly, nightfall, when he was looking through binoculars, he did see his neighbour start to get undressed, and then she turned, and everyone grabbed the binoculars. Then he goes, "Don't do that!" And then he'll go out of the way.
We've done that.
Did you just say, "Oh, I'm so sorry"? And then
we saw a bit of back. We saw a bit of her back.
Oh, I do apologise.
But you wanted to talk about the hot neighbour's back, so that's fine.
Not really. She's very young. I'm very old.
But
they go to the library for a bit of National Geographic to spank over.
They do one of those things that we love. I don't know what they're called.
I know what they're called. Sort of,
I love it when they do it in a film, though. When they scroll through all the newspaper clippings.
Yeah, they're looking for it. But and one of the guys, you got National Geographic with basically a tribes lady there with her boobs out, and he's like, "Nice spank mag," and puts it down the front of his trousers.
He's like free porn, and he's like, "Is he really going to steal that?" Yeah.
Is he really going to wank over that? I suppose it's desperate times. I suppose.
A boob's a boob.
That's what I know. But when I say desperate, that's not being derogatory to the tribes lady. I'm just saying that it's not appropriate in some sense.
There is no
internet porn about their tribe. So. But
get the porn while you can.
I guess.
Flicking through your mum's catalogue, looking at the underwear section.
I remember with a bunch of friends.
So we had sometimes.
I think I've said the story. A bunch of friends under this bridge finding a plastic bag under the water.
Yeah.
Fucking full of them.
We found one in the woods in a bush. It's about 50 magazines in there. Great times. Don't know why people used to hide them in bushes and in the rivers, but
I know what's going on.
don't know. Who's
We're
it for?
wanking in the woods when no one's looking.
Must be get away from the wife, go off for a quick wank in the woods.
Oh, I'm just going to pop out for a cigarette, love. Maybe a walk to the shop, get a newspaper. Run
Where's
to the
my
shop to
bag
get a
of porn?
newspaper, then quickly into the woods.
But you've got to buy those magazines, and then you've got to kind of store them. You know, like a squirrel stores his nuts in the woods. You're storing them in a bag in the bush. It's very strange.
I had to hide a boss once. I had to hide. I had a friend who went to Amsterdam. I said, "I'll grab us some porn." This is before internet, and he grabbed me a DVD. Brings it back. It's Private Gladiator 1, 2, and 3, and he said, "Oh, 50 quid." It's 50 quid. Oh, fucking hell! This is a long time ago. And then I sold it to my boss. He had 50 quid in his wallet. He goes, "Yeah, yeah." He had always 50s in his wallet. And he goes, "Yeah, I'll buy it off you." All right, but then he's like, "Well, you're gonna have to hold it for me, hide it for my wife. So you keep hold of it." So he just gave me 50 quid, and I still held the DVD. So that's a bit weird. All right, okay.
Strange.
Then one day, eventually got off me, and I think he found a hiding place in his shed.
Bloody hell.
Which is really weird. What sort of relationship's that? Come on, watch porn together.
Strange. Well, away from porn and back to the library where these kids are. So they look at all these newspaper articles. Now, second or third time watching this film, you'll notice that some of the people in those articles are in framed pictures on Mackie's wall, because when we first went in his house at the beginning of the movie,
that's the neighbour we don't know, that's
the killer.
Mackie, yeah.
So all those people on his wall are actually people that he's either killed or going to kill. Now, you might not catch that the first time you watch this, but this time around, some of those pictures that they scroll through on the telefinder, or whatever you want to call it, we recognise them from that wall. So it's night time. Cut to night time now. It's manhunt time. Big group of people meet up. And they're worried about, someone says they're worried about Sonny. Let's go knock on his door, Sonny. So Sonny is, correct me if I'm wrong, he's the guy that was in Mackie's house, is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
So they go and knock on his door, and he's not at home. But the car's there. Well, that's weird. It's very strange. And Davey's very suspicious. He's like, well, where have the family gone? Where's Sonny? This is weird. So that just plants a little seed for later on. Then he sees a milk carton, and he shows that to the gang. And he says, this is where it all clicks into place for him. And he says, look, this is the kid that I saw.
That's where he sees it, yeah.
In his house. I saw him in his house. And they're like, are you sure? So I swear I saw this kid in his house, and now he's on a milk carton. So he's really trying to convince the gang, you know.
We find out at this point that Mackie's a cop, which we didn't know before. So for us...
Because they say, but he's a cop.
Yeah, so for us, it kind of... I think that it's almost like it kind of drops our suspicion a little bit more. But obviously, there's cops who are killers. But I think for us, you know, because they hit us straight away with the coming downstairs, like, is he the killer? I guess he's the killer. And then slowly making it so we don't think he is a suspect, I feel.
And one of them says, do you know he's been buying bags of topsoil in his local hardware store every single week?
Well, they decide to do a stakeout. That's what we just need. Meet our Westvers, don't we?
Yeah.
Stakeout.
They stake out. So it's called Operation Mac Attack.
Should eat some steaks while they do it, shouldn't they? Operation Mac Attack, yes.
They should eat some Big Macs. That's what they should eat.
So essentially doing some recon, and they discover that he jogs before bed, which I was just like,
11
before
PM.
bed. He goes jogging for an hour at 11, so he comes back at midnight, and I thought he probably gets up fairly early as a cop, maybe like 6 or something. I wouldn't be able to go to sleep after coming back from a jog like straight away. It's just not going to happen, especially for an hour's jog.
Well, they spend 2 or 3 days monitoring him, so they figure out the timing of his jogs, late night jogs, what time he leaves for work. the fact that he's always doing loads and loads of gardening, the fact that he goes to the hardware store and he's always buying lots of tools or topsoil.
So they basically put the burbs now, though, don't they?
Yep.
Let's go fucking through his trash, and then we'll just blame it on fucking raccoons.
This is the most direct homage to the Burbs, really. There is another one a bit later on with the walkie-talkie getting covered in dirt. But yeah, they watch him put his garbage out late at night, and they go, let's wait until he goes for his 11 p.m. run, and then we'll go for his garbage. And they start rooting through it all. There's nothing in there.
No.
And then they open his mailbox, and what do they find? A copy of a porno mag. And he's like, yes, free porn. That kid's now like, he's upgraded from the African tribeswoman to
that. He said then, he's like, oh, I'll keep an eye on the mailbox. Basically, he was going to come back again if there's another copy or whatever.
He's going to come back every month and steal every monthly edition.
That's what he's doing, yeah.
So Mackie's porn is gone now, sadly. So where are we at? Garbage. They find the porn and they decide to call it a night. And Woody says, now this is where we start finding some really sad and very real backstories to these kids. Because they've all got shit going on at home.
Makes this just that little bit more deeper and better film. It doesn't have to do this.
Woody says, do you mind if I sleep?
Very quickly, it's again showing two halves, different sides, isn't it?
Yeah. Woody says to Davey, do you mind if I sleep over at yours tonight? And he says, yeah, that's fine. He says, I've just got to pop back and check on my mum. And it turns out his mum she works really, really hard. But also, I feel like she's got like a substance addiction as well. Because she's just always a bit of a zombie. And she's always crying. And he just can't bear to be around her because he's like the adult to her.
Probably like amphetamines or something.
Yeah. So that's why he likes to stay over at Davy's, because he's with his best friend and they have fun. And Davy's, of course, like, yeah, of course, I've got a great, my mum and dad are together, everything's fine, come to us, we've got food in the fridge, it's all great. Yeah, so it's interesting.
Because we get that with Tommy. No.
Tommy.
We get that with Tommy as well. His family, he's got an older brother. Tries to, it's very passive aggressively. Tries to be friendly to him in a certain way, and they talk about their family. And he stand outside the house. We have that later on at the end of the movie. Again, same sort of thing, and it's interesting. Makes it more almost like Stand By Me.
It does. It does. It didn't need to have that depth, but it really works well.
Another thing, yeah.
Now, this is every 15-year-old boy's dream come true, this next bit, because Nicky, his old babysitter, arrives at his house at midnight. And he's like, what are you doing here? And she just walks in. He's like, my parents are around. She's like, I'm going up to your room. And he's like, how am I going to tell my friends this? They're never going to believe me. And when she gets up there, she sees the binoculars, and then she puts two and two together. And she's like, have you been spying on me? And he's like, no. And then she sees his wall of weird. She says, oh, I remember this. You're still into all this when I used to babysit you. You're still into all of that kind of stuff. And they talk a little bit.
He knows very quickly. Earlier on, when his mum and dad and him, which I mentioned, have those TV dinners, they're actually discussing her parents are going to break up and move away.
So she's feeling really down in the dumps because her parents are on the verge of divorce. So she's just come round to him just to chat, and she knows it might be one of the last times she sees him if the household gets broken up. And she leans in and they almost kiss. But then his parents bloody well cock block him because they get back and you hear them come downstairs.
How old is he then?
I guess he's like 15, 16, and she must be like 17, 18. I don't know.
Peter.
Maybe 19. I don't know. So yeah, she escapes out the window, and damn it, he never got to kiss her. Then we cut to some random kid
walking down in the street with some lovely synth music playing along, and footsteps.
Yeah, and eventually he's chased. It's quite a good scene.
You sounded scared when you said chased.
Chased.
Yeah.
And he's grabbed and he's put in a car.
Yep.
And that's what we see of him. And then we see Mackie getting in his cop car in the morning, leaving for work. And the boys are, they're in Woody's car, or Woody's mum's car. And they follow him. And they follow Mackie, and he goes into the hardware store, and he's buying loads of toys, tools. He buys a pickaxe, loads more topsoil. Like, how much topsoil does one man need?
And I love the fact that at this point here, if it's your first time watching it and you don't know if he is or if he isn't, but you're still totally following him, at the moment now, it's on the nose. He's literally buying shit to fucking bury a body with. And it's so obvious, it's almost like you start to be like, it can't be him. It can't be him. You know?
Yeah, they wouldn't be this obvious. You think they wouldn't be this obvious.
Yeah.
You know, especially when one of the boys goes, "Oh my God, a pickaxe." You know? So they follow him, but they do lose him. And then they realise they're being followed by a police car.
Yeah, because they're basically the bigger of the kids. They're like, you look over like you're over 30. Don't worry about it. You can drive your mum's car. They've stolen his mum's car on the way to follow a cop, which they think is a killer. It's a bit. Come on, guys. This is not good. A good look if you get pulled over, but they get pulled over
by the nicest cop in the world,
who knows them as like knows the guy and said, "Oh, not you again."
He said, "Oh, God damn it! What would your mum say? You know, she's got enough on her plate, Woody. What would she say if she knew you were doing this? Get yourselves home, get off the streets, and stay safe. I'm not going to write this up. I'm not going to say anything about it. Just get on your way." And that's a proper small town cop, isn't it? Who knows the kids, knows that they're not troublemakers. Yeah. And he's like, just get home and stay safe. There's a serial killer out there, you know. So they leave, and they see Mackie has got another car, a civilian car,
in a locker.
So they think, he must have stashed the tools and the dirt somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Davy and Nikki talk again. So Nikki, the babysitter, and she's now reveals what we suspected. She's very upset. Her parents are definitely getting a divorce. And he says, "Well, look, don't worry about that. Let me tell you my theory about Mackie, the cop." And she totally doesn't agree. She's like, "No, there's no way. He's a cop. He's a nice guy. You know, he lost his family or whatever it was. There's no way he could do this." And while they're discussing that, we see this real, like, noncy scene of all the local kids playing baseball in the street and catch. And Mackie sat there in the hot sun outside his house just watching them. And he's like, "Hey, kids, I got ice pops." And he's handing out ice pops to all the kids. And you're like, what is going on? At this point, you're like,
I don't know. He's super friendly. Veering on nonce now. Veering on nonce. Yeah. But it's actually... it's basically Ted Bundy. It's exactly how Ted Bundy was as a person. He had this facade he put on for everybody, a really nice, happy, friendly person, but was a complete and utter psychopath.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what he's doing here.
And the film does shove it in your face so much that you think it can't be. It can't be. Mm-hmm. So, back to the tree house for another scene. And the boys are drinking. Did you catch it? What are they drinking?
Whiskey.
McCready's whiskey, of course.
Oh, I didn't see that.
McCready's whiskey. And they're all trying it for the first time. It's disgusting. When you're 15, if someone passes you a bottle of whiskey...
I know. I used to nick my dad's Scotch, and it's horrible. It's only later on you go, "Oh, actually, bourbon is a bit nicer to drink." Do you know what I mean? You're like, whiskey... I know, I'm sure there's people out there whiskey fans, but it is quite a nasty drink.
So they catch up, and Davey says, "Guys, got something to tell you. Nikki came to my house at midnight, and we almost kissed." And they're like, yeah, whatever, come on. And he's like, no, honestly, she did. And they're like, "Well, anyway, look, we need to go back to Sonny's house because I still suspect that there's something strange going on with that." So they go back to that house they were at a few nights before. And this time the door is unlocked. The front door. So they go inside.
The fuck you just go in. It's like, you guys, it's still a cop. You know, it's not good.
And again, this is very much like when Tom Hanks goes into Walter's house, his neighbour who's gone missing, and they're like, signs of a struggle, and they're looking around. He says, it smells like roadkill in here. Where's that awful smell?
Is this the hour that Mackie's not there? That's Mackie's place, yes?
No, they're in Sonny's house. They've gone into Sonny's house.
Oh, right, sorry, confused. Sonny, which one was Sonny? There's the kid that went missing.
The kid that's gone missing, that they went to his house a few nights before.
Okay.
Because he didn't turn up for manhunt.
What happened to the kid that was out walking with the synth music playing? That one.
We don't know anything more.
No more
yet.
information. All right.
No, not yet. Now, while they're in Sonny's house with all the lights out, the phone rings and makes them all jump. And Nikki pops out of nowhere and scares them all. They're like, "What the hell are you doing here?" She's like, "Oh, I'm coming over every day to like water their plants and feed their cat. They're on holiday. Sonny's on holiday with his family. Don't worry about it."
She's like, "What are you doing here?" Yeah.
Yeah. She basically pretends, because the gang are like, "Oh, here she is, your girlfriend, Davey." And she's like, "Oh, has he told you that we hooked up? Has he?" And she basically plays up to it because she likes him and makes them all believe that they did hook up. And
they start. She walks off and they start worshipping her, and she's around the corner just smiling because she's giving them kudos.
Yeah. And they're like, "Davey, you son of a bitch.
Oh my God." Yeah.
So that's cool. And then, another game of Manhunt at nighttime.
Yeah.
But this time, they're going to use the game of Manhunt to plant a walkie-talkie outside Mackie's bedroom, which involves them having to climb up a trellis bush, making sure he doesn't look out of in his windows. It's quite a stressful scene.
And they spot him inside, and he has loads of cleaning products, chemicals and stuff. So again, for us, and
he's wearing gloves.
His gloves, and he's got some red on him or something's got red on it.
He's got blood all over him.
And again, we're like, it looks like he's cleaning up something he's just chopped up, and he did have those tools. Like, that would make sense, but it can't be. It can't be. It's hilarious that it is, though. We're just literally documenting a killer.
And it's, again, another
there is
Burbs
no
reference.
Murder mystery, really. But there is.
The first time Tom Hanks meets Klopek, he's got red all over his gloves, and it's because he's a painter. So it's another Burbs reference as well.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Our main guy's spotted, though, isn't he?
Well, first of all, he's gone into the basement. He's gone out into his basement. So it's time to go and put the walkie-talkie, climb up, put the walkie-talkie outside his bedroom window. But Mackie opens his window randomly out of the blue and really scares Davey. Davey's like, "Oh, fuck."
But he didn't. It was only, Mackie only opened it because he was opening his window, and he's just there, and he's like, "Whoa." But
he's scared
he can play it off, though, because as I say, like, we were playing Manhunt.
Yeah, which is what he does later on. But even so, it's like a pretty scary moment.
It is.
So in the morning, Davey talks to Mackie while he goes back to retrieve his walkie-talkie because he realises it's not got a good enough signal on it. He thinks, "I'm just going to take it back." It's a G.I. Joe one, isn't it? G.I. Joe toy walkie-talkie. So while he's there about to climb up and get it, Mackie comes out of his house and he says, "Oh, do you want to come inside?" And he's like, "Maybe." And he says, "Oh, come on, come back inside. It's fine." And he says, "I'll tell you what I'll do. That walkie-talkie's rubbish. I've got real walkie-talkies from being a cop. You can have one of mine. You can have a couple of walkie-talkies, like really good ones with a good distance on them."
He says no, though.
Come inside. Come inside. Come inside.
Yeah.
And he's like, no.
Sensible lad, because he could have, at that point, if he's a serial killer, let's pretend he is temperamental as Ted Bundy. If he had got him in there, switch, boom, dead.
And this is what the grooming aspect is you talked about earlier. You know, he knows he's a videographer, so he says, "Here's my daughter. Oh, you've got a walkie-talkie. I can give you a better walkie-talkie." He's preyed on these little things that kids find so innocent. You know, do you want to come and look at my puppies in the back of my van?
I think he
all
would
that kind of stuff.
Definitely killed him and put him in the basement if he'd gotten him. So I'd probably gone and strangling.
Davey spots a freshly dug hole in Mackie's garden as well.
Yeah,
and he thinks, "Fuck." So he manages to get away.
And it's too obvious, it can't be.
Yeah.
I love the fact that evening he's like, right, I'll get my binoculars out and stare at him some more. And what happens? It's basically a Fright Night. Mackie's there with binoculars staring back.
It's quite jumpy.
It's good
it makes
though,
you jump. Yeah, it's really good.
So,
and even my third watch, that bit made me jump. I was like, oh, fuck.
So
okay.
It's A-Team time, and again, they make a plan.
Yeah. He says, I think he's on to us. Davey says to his gang, I think he's on to us. So we need to change the plan. We need to follow him tonight and see where he goes.
Yeah.
So they follow him, and he's got this storage lockup with a green VW Beetle in there.
This is what I meant earlier. I got confused. Sorry, earlier on I said about him having a car in a lockup, but this is the... And here, I'd forgotten all about this, for fuck's sake. Ted Bundy drove a Beetle.
A green one.
I think this is, without a doubt, based on Ted Bundy. Especially the way he was. I really think it is. And I've forgotten about it earlier, and then I'm just... I came on to Ted Bundy, because it's like, he's very like that. The two faces, you know, two sides of him. And he's got a Beetle. So yeah, I think so. It's such a well-made movie.
So while he's in this storage lockup, the doors open about a foot at the bottom. And one of the kids sneaks over and looks, and he sees lots of cleaning products and just stuff in there. Basically a serial killer's dream in this, like. And then he runs away, and then there's a bit of tension where they hide behind a garbage, like a big trash can, and
he comes out the corner, but they're not there because the camera works back. But we do have, though, the absolute Burbs reference when they tried to walkie-talkie the guys back there who are digging a hole. In
his basement
with his walkie-talkie there, and the dirt goes on the walkie-talkie, and they're trying to say he's coming back. So that is, it is literally a scene in the Burbs.
Yep. Walter is still alive. I repeat, the old man is still alive, but they don't hear it.
It's so funny.
Yeah, very, very Burbs, and brilliant, and it's not a bad thing for us to say so many times. Just like the Burbs,
But I don't mind. It's not false. It's not false in any way.
No, it's not. It's just done with love. It's just done with love. Yeah. So
they get into a shed, don't they?
That's right. Let's check the shed. There's loads of tools in there, and lots of kids' clothes in here as well, and kids' toys.
Yeah. You kind of hope Arnold Schwarzenegger's in there with, like Commando,
or Bruce Campbell,
or Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, or all three of them. They find the MTV shirt that kid was wearing that he saw in the window, and it's got blood spots on it.
Yep.
So it's time for another gang meeting.
Yeah, again. Regroup.
And they discuss, maybe that is my only complaint, is there's a lot of that.
It does keep going back to it, but yeah. And they decide to tell the parents as well.
But only in reviewing it with you do I realise just how many times they regroup in the treehouse. But during the watch of this film, it doesn't affect me. It doesn't feel like that. No. It's just like, it's just a catch your breath. But, so they regroup. They realise that the chemicals stuff is used to break down flesh and meat. So the chemicals that they saw are definitely being used to like melt stuff and like acid almost. So yeah, really, the first time I saw this, really didn't expect this next plot point. But they tell Davey's parents. You never tell the adults in these movies. They never tell them.
But I think they don't know what to do, and I think it's a little bit out of their fucking league now.
And that's what makes this stand out from other movies, because they don't normally do this.
No, so that's why they go, let's tell the parents. And obviously, as you expect, what the parents are going to do.
He's like, a cop. What do you mean?
Are you insane? You know, and then they're basically like, right, that's it. And all it does for them, turns you completely around, and then they have to go around his house next day and apologise to him, saying that we think you're a killer.
Yeah, Davy's dad
like,
says...
Oh, for fuck's sake.
He says, Davy, you're grounded. I'm taking the walkie-talkies away.
And he goes, right,
I'm
let's
gonna
go
phone
over
all of
now.
your parents.
Doesn't it? He goes, right, we're going right now to apologise.
Yeah. And the bit where he says, I'm going to call all of your parents and tell them about this. I've been in a situation where one of my friends' mums has said, I'm calling your mum and dad's about what you've all been up to. And you think, oh, there's nothing worse than getting home after that phone call. And your parents are there drumming their fingers on the table like, I've just had a phone call from Marilyn.
The worst is when you've been arrested.
Oh, shit. I've never had that.
That's the worst one. And then the police have to ring your parents.
Oh, God. Yeah. Maybe you could talk to me about that off air. I don't know anything about this.
It's only 15.
What the fuck? Do you mind talking about it now?
No, shoplifting.
Oh, what did you nick?
It was some...
Booze.
I can't remember. Something with one shop, then I went to another shop. I was with a bunch of guys and they're idiots, and they just ran out the store, and I was just casually walking out because I was quite good at it. And I learnt my lesson. It's in the crime does not pay, and you shouldn't do it. But these guys ran off, which notified the store detective that it was a bit dodgy, and followed us to another shop where I was just getting my dinner. Well, stealing my dinner. It was a phase. I was a kid, you know, and I got arrested.
Yeah.
So put in a little cell for a bit. And then
oh God! What did your parents say?
Why are you stealing food? Do you know at Waitrose? It was not Waitrose. It's I don't know what it was actually. Safeway. It's a Safeway. What I stole came to £6.66.
Oh Jesus! I bet your mum was like, "We've got food in the fridge, Gav. We've got food in the oven.
That's exactly.
Am I not feeding you right?
It's all
Have
that
I failed
stuff.
you as a mother?
It's
really
all
giving
that.
you all of that shit.
It's all
isn't
that.
she?
Yeah.
Bless her.
Sorry, Mum.
Oh.
But yeah, it's just one of those things you do. Yeah. So.
But yeah, you're right. So Davy's dad marches them over to Mackey's. Tell him what you did. And he's like, what? Tell him, we dug up your garden. We dug up your basement. We broke into your shed. And he laughs. Boys will be boys. Don't worry about it. Look, I get it. I was a boy once as well, you know, and everyone's paranoid at the moment. But what about the kid? What about the kid I saw? Oh, that was my nephew.
And this scene is pretty much Fright Night taking the policeman to Jerry Dandridge's place, isn't it?
Yeah. He says that was my nephew. He came to visit me.
No, sorry, it's like taking Peter Vincent there.
Yeah. Except there's no mirror to see him at the end.
I know, that's such a good bit.
It is a good bit. So Davy's grounded, and Davy is practicing picking locks later on, which will come in handy later.
Because earlier on, the dude who I feel like looks like he's out in the Monster Squad manages to do it. And I love how natural it is here. He does it and says, how'd you do that? And he says, just all in the wrist. And he says, no, seriously, I already like this bit. It's not what you'd normally cut there and then move on. He goes, no, seriously, how'd you do it? He goes, oh, no, basically. And he explains how it does it. But I love the fact that it actually says, no, how do you do it? And it's not what you expect to be in the film. It would be like cut or something. But then later on, obviously, it's going to come into play because he's playing around with it and manages to do it.
So yeah, Davy practices picking locks. Nikki invites him up to her room this time.
But yeah, okay.
And he still thinks, he says, look, I've apologised to him, but I still think he might be guilty. And she's like, oh, okay, look, maybe you are right, I don't know, but he's explained himself. And then the next morning, Mackie knocks on Davy's door and his parents are out.
And it surprises him because he doesn't think that's going to be. And he says to him, like, I'm sorry to do this to you, but could you call your nephew? And he says, like, yeah, sure. Yeah, no worries. Yeah,
and he said,
let me in.
Yeah, and I'll use your lanyard.
Almost like vampire.
He says, no, the cord stretches really far.
Then I'll go get the phone for you. But as he's getting the phone, he just walks in and we see the camera angle from it. It's very Hitchcocky almost. In the foreground, we've got him looking at the phone on the right, and on the background, on the left, the other half of the screen, where you see him just step through where the vampire is not allowed to, the serial killer can.
And he's given this whole... Look, I get there's... all you kids are nervous at the moment, but what I can promise you is I will catch this son of a bitch. I promise you. And he's given it all that.
Ted Bundy again.
He's like, leave it to me. You know, us cops, we are on to this and we will catch him. And I know you're all really nervous to the point you're making up stories.
This would have been exactly, if Ted Bundy had been a cop, this would have been exactly how he had behaved. Absolutely. While at the same time having sex with corpses in the woods.
Brilliant. So Mackie calls his nephew, with quotation marks, and after a few rings, he says, look, he's not home. There's a good chance they're out. I don't know. But look, I'll leave you now. I'll leave you to it. And when he leaves, he calls the operator and he's like, can you tell me the number that was last dialed?
As they're leaving, though, he does say to him, I'm sorry, the kid says to him, and they shake hands. I just thought I'd say that. So, like, I don't know if the kid at this point is doing a trick to him, going, I'm just going to let him think I'm on his side again so his guard goes down. Because he still knows he is a killer, but he says, I'm so sorry, and shakes hand. I thought it was really cleverly done. It's very subtly done. So it makes the killer possibly think, I can get this kid on board again, groom him again.
And some of this, I don't know why, reminds me a bit of Lost Boys when they invite the head vampire over for dinner. Yeah. And you're like, until he eat the garlic, you don't know whether they're just like being friends with him.
But what happens when he rings the operator?
The operator says the last dialed number was, and Mackie had rung his own house.
So he instantly goes to his buddies and says, he bloody rang his own house. You know what I mean? He is the killer.
Meanwhile, as he says that, they're like, turn on the TV, Davey.
Yeah, it's a news report.
We've caught him. We've caught the murderer. And the arresting officer was...
Mackie.
So
Mackie's back, and we all know this, and the kids are probably just going learning about life and corruption at this point. Mackie's obviously gone and fingered the wrong person and said, right, that's it, I'm fucking taking you in. And is going to stitch him up, or them, or she, or what, as the killer, so he can get away, because he knew that this kid was onto him, and there's a little bit of heat going towards him, so he needs to deflect it straight away. So literally going to take this person down, and then I assume what would happen, his plan would be to stay there for another 6 months, then decide to quit, go to another town, and start again.
A bit like another great movie, Stepfather.
Which I actually think about this the other day. I want to watch Stepfather movies again. I don't know if I've seen the other two, but I was 2 and 3, but I've seen the first one. I want to watch it again.
Yeah, really good movie. Really good movie. Now, Davey says the whole town thinks he's a hero, but I still suspect him, and I think I need to get into that locked door in his basement. And I'm going to video the whole thing using my dad's camcorder that he uses to report the news to obtain evidence. And his friends are reluctant to help, but they do agree to go with him. And this all takes place now, this next bit, during a big celebration, a big function to celebrate. We've caught the killer, and it's all to celebrate Mackie as the town hero. So while they're all there, sort of like, well, shaking his hand up, giving him kisses, like, you're the best, have a hot dog, Mackie, can't believe you've done it. The kids are all like, let's go, break in. So they go to work. They take the camcorder, and it's Nicky, Woody, and Davey, and they break into Mackie's house.
And they do, which they actually end up doing. We actually see the result of this, which is brilliant, which takes him down, essentially, well, on paper. Their plan with the camcorder is to get evidence, which I really like the fact that they do.
Yeah. And they go into his basement, and initially they're like, oh, all the dirt and tools was maybe for planting trees. Is that what this was for? Because he was a bit of a do-gooder. He was planting trees for the local community.
The only light they got from the camcorder as well.
Yep. But they pick the lock, and they go into the dark room, and then there's another door, and they go into that room.
How weird. And they find a bedroom, and it was like a bedroom that he would have had when he was a kid, like Mackie.
Like maybe his parents locked him up or something? and tortured him.
Really weird. Or does he actually sleep there himself? You know.
Inside that bedroom is a bathtub, and inside that bathtub is a body decomposing.
Well, they find a door inside that bedroom. So yeah, they find a bedroom, and then, like you said, go into another door. Yeah, and they find a bathtub with a rotten body. Ugh. And
then there's another kid in there tied to a radiator.
Yeah, just dying away. Just
help me!
Yeah,
help! So they help him escape. And
as they're running out, they look at the photos on the wall and they realise it's not family, but it's a bit cliche and obvious. It's victims.
Yeah, it's probably the only sort of bit I'm not bothered about.
Certainly forced a little bit, which is it's like, oh yeah, that's kind of obvious. You could have.
The only good thing about it is Davey says, "Look, my family are on that wall, so he's planning on taking me out next."
It's done for that reason, which is quite good, because that's another layer for her to go, oh shit, which helps the scary factor later on at the end of the film.
We cut to, again, it's an unusual bit.
Really good.
The police station.
You expect, though, when they're doing the camcorder, you expect Mackie to be there and catch them. That's what you expect. The traditional movie would do that, and it would start to go into that way. This doesn't. It cuts to them, like you say, in a police room with all the police cops, loads of detectives, everything, watching the tape, and all going, oh my god, right, we need to arrest him now. And it's really interesting. That's why I said I like the fact that they get the evidence. They actually do. We see this. It's like, oh my god. So for me, it's that safety blanket when I like to see a cop or something in a movie. All of a sudden, we've got the whole police force there going like, oh my god, your kids are right. Oh shit. And the dad's like, and they're like, your kid, you should be fucking proud of your kid. And dad's like, I'm so proud of you. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's really, it's good. I like it.
Nikki gives him a kiss. So he gets the girl, he wins the day, his dad says he's proud of him and apologises. Woody says, can I stay over? And he's like, yeah, of course you can, that's fine. And we think, oh, thank God, they've just got to go and arrest him now.
It's like back to normal, have a sleepover, but Nintendo Entertainment System be coming out soon, you know, that sort of thing.
And it's midnight in Davy's house, and all of his family are asleep. Davy and Woody are asleep in his room, and his mum and dad are asleep.
And just to say that Mackie hasn't been found. He's been arrested, but he hasn't been found.
Cannot find him anywhere. But at midnight, in Davy's house,
there's a click.
There is a click and a creak, and the loft hatch slowly opens, and the ladder slowly comes down.
And we know what it's going to be. It's not Michael Myers. It's not Freddy Krueger. It's not even Gary Busey as Hider in the House, for another movie to check out. It's Mackie.
It's Mackie in your basement, in your attic.
He's been hiding in the whole street, in the attic.
And he goes into Davy's room and chloroforms him. And he's passed out. And he wakes up and he's tied up and gagged along with Woody in a car. In the back of a car, and they're like, where the hell are we? And they managed to get loose quite easily.
But it's on purpose. He's there to now hunt them and scare them to shit. And this, again, is the Ted Bundy way of doing it. Scare them and completely terrify them. It's a game, yet terrify them and go after them. That is literally what Bundy would do.
So it's taken a rather dark turn now. So
really
they're running through the woods.
Well, very quickly. They're in the car and they're like, "Oh shit, what's going on?" So they're both, and we're kind of safe at the moment. We're with them in the back of the car. They get untied fairly, and all of a sudden there's bangs on the roof and stuff. And Mackie's basically running around the car, getting the adrenaline pumping, and the door opens up. So they open the other door and they just start running. Mackie's basically, it's a fox hunt for Mackie, isn't it?
He says to them while they're in the woods, you hear him shout, "It's time for a real life manhunt, boys. I know you guys love to play that game, but let's play it for real tonight." And he's taunting them, and they're obviously two young lads. They're scared out of their minds,
scared to fuck, you know? And they just start running, and it's really well made here. It's well acted and everything.
They fall down into like a slight pit, and they find loads of bodies. Probably about 13 or 14, I would say, because this is Mackie's body pit.
And, you know, he's out in the middle of nowhere where it's safe, because when they go running, he has the lights on his car, blue lights flashing, and he also has a siren going. So that tells you, it's very cleverly done. It tells you that there's no one around for probably 4 miles at least.
And then we get probably the most shocking part of the movie now, where Davy is injured by Mackie.
Well, how that happens is fucking terrible. Davy gets his fucking back of his ankle cut as Achilles heel sliced, like in Pet Sematary.
Pet Sematary, yeah. And then Woody,
which we didn't know is going to happen.
Oh dear, sweet Woody, who cares so much for his mum.
Mackie has a fucking Rambo knife,
and he slits his
throat.
Woody's throat.
And
it's a really good
we
kill.
Don't expect.
And you're so invested in this kid who's such a big, bumbling, lovely.
When he was running scared, he was saying, "My mum needs me. My mum needs me." Because don't. I know. And then he gets his throat slit and dies, and it's just like, fucking hell. You don't expect it to happen as well.
The first time I saw it, I was like, "Is this a dream sequence? He can't have killed Woody.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll survive." And then Mackie starts shouting, "This is all your fault."
At this point, I hear this whole scene of him when he came down the thing and then discovering the body is him. All of a sudden, the twist is, in this film, he is the killer. And it's not even a twist because we were told this from the get-go, but that is the twist. This ending, this is the part of the movie. Now, if you haven't seen this movie, it's a really, really simple ending which costs not much to do apart from people just doing some dialogue, and it's really, really good. I think it's such a brilliant way to go for film. So if you haven't seen it, we're going to spoil this for you now. It's good
just
though,
before you talk about that, then Mackie says to him, "This is all your fault. Don't you see that, Davy? There's only one thing I want to do now, and that's kill you. It's the only thing I want to do, but
and this is
you won't know when. You won't know when it's going to happen. I'm going to let you live.
Oh yeah.
You don't know how long for. Is it going to be one day? Is it going to be a year? Is it going to be 10 years? I'll come and get you."
Basically, he puts him in a mind prison. He literally just says to him real close up, like, this kid's scared to death. He's watched his mate literally be killed in front of him. He's scared to death. He says, "I'm not going to kill you, but I will one day kill you, but you won't know when." That is so mean. It's just like such a emotionally deep thing to go to if you really think about that situation. But then you cut to the kid rocking away in his bedroom by himself.
Yep.
And it's just like, oh my god.
Well, we get a search party just to round it up. Davy is found. His mum and dad go to visit him in the hospital, and he's crying later on. Obviously, one of his best friends has been killed. And then the final scene is the opening scene of him on his paper round doing the narration. So it's a nice bookend, talking about the crazy things that happen in the suburbs. Nikki's family leave. He sees her. So he never got the girl because she leaves town because her family are broken up. There's yellow tape all around Mackie's house. And that's just kind of the end, really.
There is some narration.
The killer's still out there somewhere. Yeah, it's the same narration from the opening. Talking about the suburbs and what goes on. And it kind of just ends with him doing his paper round. And this time the paper he delivers has the headline about Mackie on it, so he's delivering his own story.
Crazy.
And that's it. And so it really is a fantastic mix of all of those films that we've mentioned multiple times, but done in a very unforced way. It's a love letter to those paranoid suburban thrillers and those 80s Spielberg Amblin movies, and it's one of the best versions of it that I've seen.
Yep.
Really well put together, really well scripted, really well shot, really well acted. My only criticism is personally, my only criticism is it's a tad too long. I'd like this to have been about the 90-minute mark.
What is it?
About an hour and 45, hour and 50.
How long for credits?
Probably about 5 minutes. I'd like them to have shaved it down a bit, but at the same time, that's me with my reviewer's eye. I thoroughly enjoyed this the first and second time I watched this, and I certainly did this time as well.
Once you get sitting there with the townsfolk and the kids and stuff, it's gone. And obviously with Stranger Things, you've watched hours and hours and hours and hours and
Jesus.
hours. So I think it's fine.
I've watched Stranger Things twice all the way through.
So, that didn't really bother me too much.
But it's a great movie. Recommend from me as well. And it's not one you really hear many podcasts talking about.
And I know it's a little bit unfair for me to say recommend a film which you guys can't go and jump on this evening and watch it on Netflix or whatever. Sorry.
But you can watch it on YouTube. It costs about £3 to rent. And with YouTube rental, you get that movie for 30 days.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
Which is decent for the £3.50 whatever it costs. Whereas with like Prime, you only get it for.
You want to watch the same movie in a week again if you really like it. I've done it before.
Well, back in the Blockbuster days, whatever movie I rented on a Friday, we would probably watch twice, maybe 3 times on the weekend if it was a good one to get our money's worth for the 40 hours we had it.
Yeah, totally. All right, well, thank you very much for coming along with us for this episode, and that's our movie review for this evening. Daniel, we are going to go somewhere exciting now, aren't we?
We are. This is the first time we're ever going to have this segment, which is called Pop Fiction. So, take it away with the jingle. Talk about pop fiction. Talk about pop fiction. Pop fiction. Pop fiction. Pop fiction. Pop. So this segment is going to be me bringing a piece of pop culture to the table for discussion.
Oh, we're taking it in turns.
Oh, yeah, well, of course, please. That'd be brilliant. And we're going to discuss that. It's going to be generally from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, sometimes horror related.
I already know
horror.
What my first one's going to be.
I think I can guess. Horror adjacent, something that was a craze or something as a kid. Whether it's an actor, whether it's a film or a franchise or a genre or a cartoon or a toy, whatever it might be. So, for the first ever pop fiction, I bring to the table the Garbage Pail Kids trading cards and everything related to them.
Now, they came in a packet with some bubble gum, correct?
They did. Tops chewing gum. Tops bubble gum.
It felt very American, but we did have them in the 80s, and it was kind of cool. It's because I think they're called garbage, so we never said the word garbage. And I really like these are such a cool thing, and you can obviously trade them if you had the same ones.
They were stickers as well, so if you wanted to, you could stick them up.
Was there a certain number? Was it like 100 or something?
So there was multiple series of them, and each series had about 100, maybe 50 to 100, depending on the series.
So popular, weren't they?
They were. So they are American, but they did come out here as well. So the trading cards created by an artist cartoonist called Art Spiegelman in 1985.
Well, one thing about them, which is nice and easy, really easy to get shipped to England or wherever from America because they're just playing cards.
Yeah, just trading cards. And trading cards and
big
stickers.
Boxes of things or anything.
I don't think they're probably as popular, but certainly in the 80s and 90s, we all had sticker albums that we collected, Panini sticker albums and things like that. And maybe we'll cover that separately in another pop fiction in the future. But the Garbage Pail Kids were a big thing because also they were satirical of the Cabbage Patch Kids. So they were obviously a piss take of Cabbage Patch Kids because they looked like the Cabbage Patch Kids. And in fact, the Cabbage Patch Kids company sued the Garbage Pail Kids at one point, which is why 10 years later the faces look different on them because they don't look like Cabbage Patch Kids anymore. But when they first came out, they looked exactly like the Cabbage Patch Kids, but just with their limbs coming off or being monsters or whatever it was. So yeah, they were invented in 1985, and instead of cute and obviously happy sort of Cabbage Patch Kids, each card depicted usually in a funny way, a deformed, a grotesque, or a bizarre character. And their name was a pun of that, whatever that picture was that you're looking at. For example, everyone remembers Adam Bomb. So you've got Atom Bomb, but it was Adam Bomb, and his head was exploding. Or you had Nasty Nick, who was a vampire sucking a woman's blood. Up Chuck, and there was a kid throwing up loads of garbage. Yeah,
I remember Up Chuck.
So they were stickers. They were trading us, but they were stickers as well. And they were a massive hit in the 80s, but they caused a huge outrage amongst parents and teachers. They got banned. My school banned them.
Why?
So we had to do secret dealings under the table.
Well, because the pictures are like someone being sick or a headless person.
Yeah, basically.
So pathetic, isn't it? What is that going to do to someone? Like,
well,
really?
It made them more exciting. Gav, it made them more exciting. My mum would buy me a pack almost every day on the way home from the local newsagent. And I had the full set. And then, like I say, they were sued in 1986, the company Tops, by the creators of the Cabbage Patch Kids for copyright and trademark infringement. And they ended up settling it, and then they had to change the way that the kids looked on the pictures as well. We'll get into more about this in a minute, but there was a movie and a cartoon off the back of it. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie from 1987.
No.
Awful. And then they went away for a while, and then they came back in the early 2000s, and now they're huge. I follow the Facebook group. They're huge. And as people on Facebook will know, every Friday I post a picture. I call it Garbage Pail GPK Friday, and I post up a Garbage Pail Kid that's usually horror or movie related.
You've put up one every week for so long.
Been 2 years now.
That means there's so many of them. Do you know what I mean?
There's thousands of them out there. I've got a couple of books. One of them is the first 2 series recreated in larger formats, like a coffee table book, so you can just look through it because the artwork is so good.
When I come around, I've got to have a look at that.
Yeah. And
while I drink coffee.
It came with a few packets of the original series, which I haven't opened, and it's got the bubble gum in there, which I haven't opened.
Imagine the fucking flashback to tune on that.
Probably tastes the same.
Yeah,
I can still remember the taste of it. So that's a brief overview of it. You obviously remember them. I obviously remember them. We'll go through a few facts and figures, and some of the more popular ones, and how expensive they can be now.
Oh god!
For full sets and things like that as well.
Of course.
So the biggest thing was the lawsuit, and that was a couple of years off the back of them getting banned in schools in the US and the UK. So they were quite controversial, which again, like you said earlier, it made them more sought after. The other thing was, the reason they were so collectible is because there was 2 versions of every character. So in the top hand corner, where it said like 101, it would have 101A, but there was also 101B. So Nasty Nick, like the vampire, for example, he would also be called like, I don't know, Vampire Vinny. So there was 2 names for him. And sometimes there was a C, there was a 3rd variant as well. So I actually had both sets of every single one. I remember trading with all my friends over the couple of years they were out.
I don't have any memories of them, but I just remember them and get a nice little fuzzy feeling for a split second.
Yeah. They were banned completely in Mexico from being sold completely during the sort of the schools. That you're not allowed to have them on campus. Don't stick them on your books. If we see you trading them, we'll confiscate them and we'll tell your parents.
It's ridiculous.
And it was all over the news. It was like, they're going to corrupt your children.
Very quickly, on a side note, your microphone looks like fucking Ed 209. You've got little legs and stuff. My angle, look at your camera. Look at it, Ed 209.
That's it. It does, doesn't it? 20 seconds to record. The movie that came out in 1987 was part of the reason they went away, because it was a very low budget film, and I can talk about more about that in a moment. But it was me and my sister, we rented this out and we were like, oh my god, there's a Garbage Pail Kids movie. We probably rented it in like 88.
Was it a Canon film or something?
It might as well have been a Canon film, or what's Toxic Crusader, I can't think of his name now.
Troma.
It was more like a Troma film. It was awful. And they used little people in these big masks. And you had like Windy Winston, who was like the farting one. And you had like Alligator, who was the crocodile one. And it was just like, what is going on? So they came out first in America in 1985. They came out in Ireland in 1986. And then the end of 86 into 87 is when they really hit the United Kingdom. So everyone was collecting them. Even the girls, everyone at school loved them. Garbage Pail Kids. Amazing. There's some really iconic... You might remember some of these. So we talked about Adam Bomb and Nasty Nick. There was Blasted Billy, whose head was exploding. There was Dead Ted, who was a zombie.
I'm going to pull some up to look at them.
Yeah. Dead Ted. You'll remember the artwork for some of these. Let me know if you see it. It's cool. You'll definitely... Adam Bomb is the one everyone remembers the most. But some of the names, even like Schizo Fran, she had like 2 heads. There was Electric Bill, who was a guy in an electric chair getting killed. So you can see kind of why some schools didn't like them, because it did basically depict death on a child. There was one really controversial one in the UK that was a kid. They were called like Yo-Yo Flo, and it was a baby, and it was like the umbilical cord was a yo-yo string, and the mum was using the baby as a yo-yo. And it's like, they're just fucking out there. But
I am
so funny.
I am looking at them now, and I can see there's one which is a woman with really hairy armpits, which look like it's Hairy Aggie, I think it is.
Yeah.
Which is just like, okay. So yeah, it's a really large Marge, really fat woman eating cake.
Yeah.
I can see where I guess some straight people, parents are going to be like, fuck this shit. Well, no, they were like, no, this is terrible.
And a lot of the time, there was usually one for your name. So you'd be like, oh, that's so-and-so Dan, you know. So the one for Dan was, there was Drippy Dan, whose body was covered in holes, and he had corks in all of his holes, all over his entire body. But some of them were popping out with water flying out while he was drinking a pint of water. So, you know, there's probably a Gav one out there, or a Gavin one, or
I'm
something,
sure
you know.
there is. I'd forgotten. I'm looking at them now. They're good listeners. If you can, have a quick look at them. They're really fun to look at.
The guy that drew them is a Pulitzer Prize winning artist, actually.
But we're at a certain age, aren't we? So, like, some of our listeners are definitely not going to be like, they could be like, well, this was come and gone probably when I was at that age.
This was a prime, and a lot of these pop fictions we're going to talk about, this was a gateway to horror. This, along with things like Scooby-Doo and watching...
Yeah.
Horror was really marketed at children back then. Horror and sort of these gross things, you know. So we were at the prime age for this shit. We were like 8 years old, 8 to 10 maybe, when we were collecting these. And a lot of the pop fictions I'm going to bring up over the next few episodes are going to be like sort of gateway into horror. But they're pop culture.
Good. They're good.
They're huge.
Nice. They're so great. I could look at these all day long. They're really good.
Well, I'll show you the book when I see it. Now, just
really
the last thing I wanted to talk about is how expensive they can be for originals now. The most expensive one, what do you think the most expensive one sold for?
2,000.
$25,100.
Wow.
For one of the original Series 1 Adam Bombs. And if you find, like, because people still find boxes unopened with like 30 packets in that are unopened. And if you find that, it's a gold mine. Absolute gold mine. You can see them if you go on eBay. You can see them selling from anywhere to like from like $100 to like $10,000, depending on which card it is you've got. And they've been recreated over the years, but the original ones are the ones that really sell. But yeah, Garbage Pail Kids. I want this segment to kind of spark not only yours and my nostalgia and our memory, but our listeners. So hopefully, some of you guys out there are suddenly not, oh my God, Garbage Pail Kids. Go online, Google them, just look at pictures of them, and it'll just spark nostalgia from Playground trading these off. And that is Pop Fiction for this episode. I hope. Do you have anything more to add?
No. I enjoyed that. Cheers for that. Thank you very much.
It's just a weird piece of our childhood.
Yeah, no. I can't wait to do the one that I'm thinking of.
Excellent.
Yeah, well, let's come back for the outro.
Okie dokie.
And we're back again.
We're back again to say goodbye. That was episode 190 of the podcast on Haunted Hill.
Thank you for coming along and having a little listen with us.
And it was Gav's pick. It was Summer of '84, which is a fun one to revisit. A really great movie, underrated. Hope you guys are enjoying the new format where we just review one movie and we get a bit more detailed on it. And we hope you enjoyed Pop Fiction. We'll keep that going as long as you guys like it and as long as we can think of fun subjects to talk about. Just to say, our last episode, and it was obviously our comeback episode after 6 months off, is our most streamed and downloaded episode in about 2 years. So that's really nice that people welcomed us back with open arms and open legs.
What episode?
Our last episode we did.
Oh, cool.
We did Return of the Living Dead.
Oh, it's a good movie.
Obviously, that movie as well is one that people...
Coming off Prime UK, if you're listening now, obviously in another point in time, it's invalid. It's coming off very soon, so get on it, people, if you wanted to watch that film. Very fun. And that's a summer.
Which is a shame.
You can watch that in the summer, that's for sure.
And it's a shame because, just on a quick rant, I own that on Prime, and they'll be taking it away from me, and I paid for that.
I don't understand how they could do that. That's so wrong.
And that's not the first time that's happened to me. There's a couple of movies I've bought
I didn't realise
over the years.
That's terrible.
And they just take it away from me. So digital media...
They're literally stealing it from you.
They're just taking it... I spent £4, £5 on it, whatever.
I bet when you go to buy it, there's a thing in disclaimer that says that, if we don't have the rights...
It probably does.
And then what happened, it'll come back again at some point for a couple of years, and you'll have it again.
Because although I own the Princess Bride, my kids love it, I bought it on Prime just because it was easier than getting the DVD out, because they were watching it like twice a day at one point. Yeah. So I bought it on Prime and then it vanished. And then it suddenly appeared on Disney Plus, which is fine. Yeah. But it's like, why did I pay for that then? Yeah,
I have bought some stuff on Prime. Renting's more the option. I have bought some stuff, but I like a big... It can be a pain in the arse. Right now, I've got so many movies everywhere. I need more storage, but at least I have them. So.
Well, I mean, I will buy it if it's £1 or $2 more. I usually just buy it because I think, well,
yeah,
I own it then.
Yeah, absolutely. If you think, I might watch this again, or you might do. But yeah, that's a shame, and I didn't realise that, and that's actually shit.
It is shit. And in the similar news, PlayStation or Sony have announced
they're not going
from 2028.
Yeah, for January.
There'll be no more discs. January 28. It'll be
just on
digital only. So you'll go in a shop and you'll buy digital code, or you'll go on the Sony store.
You just
and
go in the store and you just
code.
Download the game and buy it. Yeah.
Isn't that mad?
I can see that. I guess it's one thing. It's stopping producing more stuff in the world. Physical stuff, which is one good thing, but it's nice to own it, and then you can. The thing is, though, when you buy them, we won't be able to do this anymore because, well, there will always be a market, but after games going forward from that point, you can't do the thing where you buy a game, play it, because a lot of players do it, buy the game, play it, and then exchange it to CEX, or sell it to get another game. They won't be able to, so they won't have the money possibly to buy the next game which comes out straight away. Do you know what I mean? And
also companies like CEX and these trading stores may end up losing a lot of money.
They will just be recirculation of the old game consoles, but that will come invalid in like 10 years.
Yeah.
And it won't be the games in CEX stuff like that. This is a shop in the UK. Other listeners, it's kind of like a computer exchange shop. You can go in there and exchange games, cameras, DVDs, Blu-rays, loads of stuff. And they don't give you much. But yeah, you can get stuff there.
It's a bit like a pawnbrokers, but you you're selling it to them, and then
entertainment stuff. Pawnbrokers, which is entertainment. Yes, so that will be a thing one day where they just stop selling games in the shops, because people will be like, well, I don't want a PlayStation 5 game because we're now on to PlayStation 10.
We really will be the generation that's gone from
analog to digital,
no internet, analog, owning the physical media, to nothing.
We will.
It's very strange.
We really will.
Strange generation we are.
Deep shit. Anyway.
Deep shit, baby. So 190, that was done and dusted. So what's coming up next?
Is that your sexy bed talk? Deep shit, baby.
Deep shit, baby.
Deep shit, baby.
That sounds a bit messy to me. Get the rubber sheets out for that. So our next episode is a Now it's Holly's go. I've spoken to Holly and said to her, you originally picked 2 movies. Which of the 2 would you like to? So she's definitely selected the one that she wants us to cover, which is Disney's The Watcher in the Woods from 1980.
We've done
Betty Davis.
We've done that.
No, we were going to cover it a long time ago, but we never did.
Oh, I've done the review already.
Yes, you did.
I've done
it. We were going to do that, and we were going to do another Betty Davis movie.
That's why I thought
The Burning.
Yeah.
Burnt Offerings. We were going to do Burnt Offerings and this together, but we are just doing Watcher in the Woods.
Oh, okay. Well, I've covered that already.
Right, you've got your notes ready to go.
I could just sit and watch it. It would be quite nice without having to make notes.
So I will be reaching out to all of our patrons as their time draws near. Not their time to die, it's just their time to be, a patron. To ask them which of the 2 they've selected they would prefer, because obviously we're doing one movie per episode.
That's crazy.
And then after that, episode 192, it's Dan's pick. It's my choice again. And I'm keeping it on track, Gav. I'm going for...
Yep, got all my notes.
I'm going for Friday the 13th.
Sorry. Yep.
Part 9, Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday from 1993.
Excellent.
Which is, the one where he body hops. There's a bounty hunter out to get him. It's all pretty crazy and weird.
It's a weird one.
And Freddy's hand pops up at the end. Really? That's what I'll be picking. And then after that, it's Gav's pick. I don't know if you want to say what you think your pick might be yet for 193, or if you just want to wait.
No, that's fine. I think I'm going to go Hellraiser.
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 We have such sights to show you.
Yep.
Which is unbelievable. We've never covered that.
Which is another bedtime chat from Dan. We have such sights to show you. Alice is like, Dan, what?
I'll tear your soul apart. That scared me so much as a kid. When I was a kid,
I'll tear your asshole apart.
Jesus Christ! When I was a kid, I was on holiday in a caravan, and my mum and dad were watching a TV show that was like the best horror films ever, and it was like probably the early 90s. So I was only about 11 or 12, and I remember they let me stay up, and they showed clips of The Exorcist, and then when it got to the bit with Pinhead saying, I'll tear your soul apart, I just went, can I go to bed now? That just made me run out of the room back into my little caravan bed.
It's very dark. Hellraiser's a dark film if you don't understand stuff. It's just like hell. There's there's an affair in it, which is obvious. It's real creepy stuff.
Sexual torture.
Yeah, Frank coming back. Hammer's been the murder weapon, which is horrible.
And it's all very sexual with nipple rings. And don't forget,
incredible film.
We get to talk about Sticky Frank as well.
I know, Sticky Frank.
He is so sticky. So that's the next 3 episodes. Julia. We've got a Disney movie from Holly, Watcher in the Woods. We've got another Jason movie, the final one, which isn't the final one, of course, from Dan. And then Gav's got us going to hell for Hellraiser. So next 3 episodes should be fun.
Yeah.
And of course, we'll have some pop fiction to discuss along the way. And that's it. That's what's coming up. So, Should probably do the old housekeeping, shouldn't I, before we go? Mm-hmm. Fantastic. You look like you're about to cry. You okay?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, go for it.
So we have been the podcast on Haunted Hill. As always, we are a proud member of Legion Podcast Network. Thank you, everybody, for putting up with us while we adjust to our new schedules and new formatting. We're also part of the Deadbolt Media umbrella. More on that in a moment. If you want to know more about Legion Podcast, just go to legionpodcast.com, where you can find out about all the web podcasts that are under that umbrella. All of our shows are on there and all our old episodes. Same for all the other shows that are part of that network as well. You can email us directly. Our email address is thepodcastonhauntedhill@outlook.com. If you've got any questions, queries, sending nudes, pictures of Sticky Frank, whatever it is you want, just send them over. As long as I can open the file format, I'm more than happy with that. I don't know where I was going with that. We're on Facebook. It's probably where we're most active. If you go on Facebook and search for the podcast on Haunted Hill, our Facebook page is on there. You'll see every single Friday I post up a Garbage Pail Kid, just to put a bit of fun in the world.
Well done.
And also we have a huge community of people on there, about 600-700 people who will comment and talk about what they're watching, trailers, posters, artwork, games they're playing, anything horror related, anything movie related. It's all on there. Legion also have their own Facebook page. Again, just search for Legion Podcast Network. You'll find them on there.
I've been listening to quite a lot of the different shows on Legion. There's some fun shows out there.
There are some fun shows out there. Wherever you're listening to us right now is where you can continue to listen to us in future. But just to remind you, we're on Spotify, Podknife, Podbean, Apple, Podcast Addict, and a bunch of other places, even YouTube and stuff like that. So we're everywhere. We're everywhere. We're under your beds. We're in your cupboards. We're everywhere. Our Instagram handle is the podcast on Haunted Hill Insta, all one word, and that's just what we use to promote each episode with a little collage of what we've covered for that episode. So that is that. We are part of Deadbolt Films Media, which is our production company. If you go to deadboltfilms.com, our website, you'll find out more about all the films that we've worked on, are working on, music videos, other comics. Gav's now mostly defunct other podcast, which is called
the High Strangeness podcast,
which comes back for a little.
Extra. We are looking. If you are so interested, we are actually looking for people to help come on board, invest, and be financiers on our movie Baited. If you actually are interested in getting into investing in film, we have a pitch deck and everything ready for you and can send it your way. So please get hold of us, probably Dan, or me, obviously.
And that is our most recent project we're currently working on, Baited.
Yeah. If you want to get into in making films and investing into films.
And we have, who do we have starring in that, Gav?
Lawrence R. Harvey from Human Centipede 2, you'd know him from that, and there are other stuff he's in as well, and Human Centipede 3 actually.
Yes. We met him in Bristol many years ago, like 10 years ago.
I did remind him of that when I spoke to him.
Did he? He probably
didn't remember the
that.
exact location. No, he didn't remember that. I didn't remember ours, but he remembered the gig.
We were there with the Soska sisters, weren't we?
Yeah. So you remember that.
American Mary.
So
cool.
we are making that, and we're trying to get that off the ground, and it's just kind of hard. We're trying our best. We've got some money, we've got some funding already, but we're just obviously trying to get as much as we can. So if you wanted to invest, you don't have to invest in a huge amount of money, but yes.
But if you go to deadboltfilms.com, that's our website. Our YouTube channel is just search for Deadbolt Films.
Yeah,
there's a whole bunch of movies on there.
And yes, check out the short films. Check out like the Star Wars film we do to show what we can do and what we can achieve. But what we're making is a pretty cool film.
And two of our films are available to rent on Prime: The Shadow of Death and Preternatural.
Preternatural isn't on Prime, but it is on YouTube.
It was on Prime.
It was on Prime. Anymore. It's on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. So if you want to see me with a big moustache, go rent The Shadow of Death. Gav is a bird spotter.
You don't have to rent it. It's free on Prime.
Fantastic. Oh, is it free now?
I'm pretty sure it's free, yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
I've told you about the YouTube channel for Deadbolt, and finally our Instagram handle is Deadbolt Films. Little snippets of what's going on behind the scenes on each project. Just wet your whistle if you do want to invest some money.
That would
So
be
that's
good.
that.
Thank you. Yes.
And finally,
Also,
Patreon.
very quickly, if you do live in the UK, the last couple of weeks of September, we need to rent out a house. If you have a house or you want to go on holiday, and we could rent your house out and pay for you to go on holiday.
This is for that orgy, right? That we were.
This is for baited. Last probably about 10 days, the last sort of 10 days ish of September. Obviously England, down south preferably, but we are looking for a house. So there you go. That's that done. Film stuff.
Amazing. And finally, we are Patreon as well. We are on Patreon. So if you want to support our show, which has been going for about 12 years or something ridiculous now, if you want to support us in a monetary fashion, in a financial manner, you can do so by becoming a patron supporter. From as little as £1 or $1 a month, you can become a patron supporter. You'll get your name read out at the end of each episode. You'll get
doing the High Strangers podcast as patron, I couldn't do. I wanted to do the £1 one, and I couldn't. We could only do like £3 or something like that. Wouldn't allow us, which is I was like, well, that's kind of rubbish. I wanted to do it as cheap as I can.
Well, as well as getting your name read out and knowing that you support the show, you'll also get a T-shirt sent to you wherever you live in the world in either grey, white, or blue with our logo on it. And you will, of course, get exclusive content of anything we upload. We usually upload our episodes about a week early for patrons, and then they go online normally. Yeah. And occasionally we do video reviews, video snippets and stuff, and
things.
Sometimes we'll do just shorter episodes of stuff. Like when I was off away from the world for 6 months, Gav did a couple of reviews and stuff as well.
I probably should send you the World of Strange videos for you to put up.
Yes. Oh yeah, I think you sent one of them, but not the other one, I don't think.
Oh, I'll have to find it.
You also get to choose the film we review. So every 3 episodes is a patron pick, which means you, the patron, in order, so I go through them all in rotation, gets to pick. Like Holly, for example, the next episode, she's choosing Watcher in the Woods, the 1980 Disney movie, which is fucking terrifying.
How come we didn't review it then? What happened?
Because my dad.
So that was what we were going to do. So we're going back to where we were and where we got to. Yeah. Right, thank you. So and apologies for that.
We were set to go in early January with that.
Right.
And then it would have been your birthday episode.
Yes.
But
sorry, yes.
obviously.
So we're getting back
on.
I
have to apologise. It's all good, man.
I know, but
these things happen.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I almost went really dark with it. Then I went because my dad died. I can say that because it's my thing and I can make that comment. Yeah. But basically that's what happened.
Yeah.
So that kind of got in the way. So here we are. But yeah, 6 months later we're getting around to Holly's film and we are looping back and catching back up. So that's where we're at. So Patreon, if you want to do that, please do so. Go to Patreon and search for the podcast Unwanted Hill.
Yeah,
or you can email us or message me on Facebook Messenger. I am very active on there. And now I'm going to thank all of our patrons individually. I can't think of a fun voice, so I'm just going to say your names normally. All right? So thanks. All right? Fucking, if you don't like that, that's shit. So thank you very much to Dante, to Don, to Matthew, to Kevin, to Rachel, to RJ, and to Lex. Boom.
Thank you so much, guys. We so much appreciate it. Honestly, really do.
It does, because there are tiny costs involved in keeping this ticking along. Yeah. The rental of films, the buying of films, equipment.
And it starts a little bit of enthusiasm and a bit of a, come on.
Yes.
People are listening to do some episodes.
If we're feeling a bit down in the dumps.
It's good to know that you're there.
Yeah, exactly. It's
good to know that you're there. I made that song up.
And I tell you what, if patrons can think of a subject they want us to cover for fiction, then let us know and we'll cover it. Whether you want to do the research or you want me to do the research, then that's fine. That's absolutely fine. So that's it. So that's been the episode. So it's a good night from Mackie and his seedy room that isn't really a dark room. It's got a bath in it with a rotting body in it.
It's good night from the dude that looks like the girl from the Goonies.
You look like the girl from Bikini. It's a good night from the huge guy who's clearly 32 years old playing a 16-year-old boy.
He really is, isn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say, really.
And it's a good night from the African tribeswoman in the National Geographic that's going to get some poor 15-year-old boy's spunk all over her.
Oh.
Always end the show classy, Gav.
And
you know
it's
me.
good night from Ted Bundy. How's that?
There we go. So it's good night from you, good night from me. And don't forget, look under your beds, look in the dark room, and
The back.
if you find a garbage pail kid, check out how much it could be worth online. It could be about $20,000.
Just check your back rooms. Right, good night, everybody.
Ooh.
Thank you for listening to the podcast on Haunted Hill. We will be back again real soon.